Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. Can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listen online, the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app, available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. And we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/BMMS69. That's where you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning.
Tickets to see Vince Neil, who will be at the Hard Rock in January on a Friday. Tickets available at hardrockcasinotulsa.com. We'll see what Gimpy wants to talk about. We got Conspiracy Theory Thursday we'll get to, and a sighting with pretty good video evidence.
Oh.
We've also got our top list today. The top 5 favorite things to do while high on the pot. Not a well-elevated crapper.
Right.
The weed, man. So we'll get to that at 9 o'clock. I'm kind of pissed at you two.
Why? What?
Something happened yesterday, and I can't stop thinking about that it happened, and I want to address it. And this, I'm being 100% serious. This is not a joke. I'm choosing to deal with this on the air.
Fun.
Yesterday, I go to get my hair cut. I sit down in the chair. My barber, River, goes, "Hey, man, what's in your beard?" And I go, I don't know. And he starts combing at my beard, and part of my egg yolk from my breakfast sandwich is in my beard. And you two assholes didn't say nothing to me.
I
Not
didn't
one
even
thing.
notice.
You ate that at
4:30? 4?
Yeah. Yeah. And you got your hair cut at noonish, I imagine?
Yeah. And neither one of you two MFers.
Later. To be fair, I don't see much of you. There's
You stare at me all day.
Yeah, but there's glass that's between it. You're way over there on the other side of the room. I'm not going to notice egg yolk in your beard, brah. However,
we were.
However, now you got a gal that sits right directly.
No, throw her under the bus, man. Go.
Yeah, right,
3
exactly.
feet across from you.
I
Not
was
even
2
that.
feet from you yesterday.
Oh, bull.
You
Whatever.
looked right at me.
I didn't see any egg yolk in your beard. I didn't see any of that because I'm not paying attention to your face.
Band of brothers, you two.
Yeah,
Rent it.
right. It blended in probably with the gray.
It's yellow.
You are looking a little jaundiced.
It's yellow. And it wasn't like a dab.
Pause. How do you not know that you got egg yolk on your face for that long?
We have talked about this in the on the air.
Mhm.
I don't stare at myself in the mirror to make sure I look good.
But you don't feel it. I feel like you would feel like a glob of some slimy goo on your face.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
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 I don't disagree.
Uh-huh.
And I remember rubbing, because I haven't been feeling well. So I was rubbing my face yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently it doesn't get crusty. So maybe I smashed it in real good.
You might have rubbed it in a little bit, and that's why we didn't notice because it's been blended in with your beard.
No, it's yellow. You're not getting out of this one.
That's funny. I don't see how we're responsible for you being a disgusting slob, but whatever.
Listen, I didn't say you put it there.
All right.
But if I see a boogie hanging out of your nose, now I know I don't have to say anything.
Right.
I think there's a difference between a cliffhanger and, egg on your face.
No, there's no difference.
There's not. You got to look out for each other, man.
Yes. I apologize. I would have said something if I would have noticed.
To my point.
I need to start staring more.
You look right at me.
I do.
For 4 hours.
Was it maybe
mostly with contempt?
Was it tucked maybe behind the headphone? I
No.
don't know. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
No,
it's not on my headphones.
on the face.
Right,
Not
right by
behind the
my
ear.
mouth. The thing you're looking at while I'm talking.
So you just
Because
sit there.
I look at you in your eyes, Corbin. That's why.
Sure you
didn't
do.
Notice.
Why are you moving your head side to side while you look at me? I have to turn your mic off when I'm talking because you're like, "Ugh."
You can hear the audible grunts and groans. That's funny. So are you just shoveling egg in your face and not paying any damn attention, and you just intent on the news or whatever you're doing early in the morning?
No, I'm in this egg sandwich phase,
Okay.
and I made my egg sandwich, and I like my yolk runny.
Yeah.
Apparently not. Apparently that's now a job hazard because nobody's helping me, even in that part of my life. It's just me pushing the wagon up the hill.
Right. When are you going to hold your end of the couch?
Pivot.
Right.
And so I guess I'm very conscious that this happens when you eat an egg yolk sandwich.
Absolutely.
And so I always sometimes I'll puncture it with a knife just like right before I start eating it, or I get really close to the plate so it doesn't go
Right. And it just dribbles all over the plate in a sandwich. You use the crust to sop it up with.
right, or I smash it to try and break it over the plate so it doesn't shoot up in the air or, like in a porn or anything. Apparently that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. So the question is, are you going to start checking yourself before you leave the house?
No, I'm not going to learn a new habit like that.
It's just a quick little, all right, we good. I have the same thing, man. Like your beard is nothing like what I've got here, right? So I'll get stuff stuck in there, pieces of fried chicken or whatever, because it falls. And you don't think about it. And then you go to the bathroom, you wash your hands, do your ABCs, and you look at me like, what the hell is that? And you peel it out and you're like, oh, chicken. And then throw it in the trash.
So not like a smudge, like a piece of chicken.
Yeah, like, a piece of the breading that comes off or whatever. Not like, like a whole nugget or anything like that. But
my wife, I love chips and queso. I love chips and salsa.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite comfort foods to eat because I don't know why. It's just awesome. And since I've discovered the white queso at Costco, anywho.
So good.
So good. Anywho, my wife just laughs at me when I eat chips and queso because I am for sure getting it on my shirt. 100%.
That's why I can't wear white. I can't wear white t-shirts. If I have a white t-shirt on, it's because I'm like probably cooking and I don't want to get my other shirts dirty or greasy or whatever. But I can't go out on the town or whatever with a plain white t-shirt or any white t-shirt. I've got one KMOD t-shirt that's white. How often do you guys see me wear that?
I think there's something special happening, to be honest, when you're wearing it.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's a special occasion shirt. And I am super careful. If it's cold and I'm drinking coffee, I have to lean extra far forward, pull my shirt back, stick my ass out, and take a drink just because why? 9 times out of 10, it's going to land on the shirt.
Don't watch me eat popcorn. It's goddamn embarrassing.
Yeah.
Kernels all over.
I don't know when I stopped learning how to eat correctly. But it is something that's happened. Maybe this is the arc, the downside of that arc of life.
Okay. You forget how to eat properly. Next thing you know, you're wearing your pants up to your nipples and Velcro shoes.
Maybe. Like you don't, maybe it's you just assume you're good at it and people don't help you.
We have to go back to wearing bibs.
Yeah. We start with bibs, we end with bibs.
Right.
And diapers.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wonder if that's what it is like it's like the beginning of that down trend on the arc.
This is the beginning of the end.
As you get food all over you. Like you start as a baby, you learn like, oh no, I gotta clean up. There's a mouth, clean your mouth. Right? And then there's like this good, 25, 30-year span where you're fine. And then, near 50, it just kind of starts a little bit of popcorn here, a little bit of egg yolk here.
Right.
A little bit of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Salsa, queso, fried chicken pieces,
Right. Pepperoni,
mashed potatoes and gravy,
right.
a pepperoni.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just get comfortable in our ways. We're like, that's fine. I know what I'm doing.
I'm not
I'm
going to
43 years old. I can eat properly.
I don't need no. I recently found this new subreddit I had never found before. Somebody sent it to us, and I started watching it. And now it's all I can think about when I'm walking around in society. And it's the I'm the main character subreddit, and it's where people think it's their world.
Right. Y'all's just living in it.
Yeah. And so it's anything from cutting you off in traffic to making a big, being a big bitch at the counter to the manager or whatever. I'm excluding your story. That's a completely different thing. Not you. Royal.
Right, yeah.
And like you think you're the main character, and how that is same. Yeah, I'm the main character. I'm like, I'm fine.
Yep.
I would imagine there are a couple scenarios in life where you realize people are slobs, and working in a movie theater, I think, would be one.
Oh, absolutely.
Movie theaters are so disgusting.
Oh, yeah. Popcorn everywhere, soda spilt all over the place, and people don't care because it's not their house. Whatever. That's what they pay Tommy to do. Pick it up.
That's you.
Not necessarily. I really try to be as much as clean as possible.
I'm just saying you have uttered that line, maybe not with the restaurant world, but when it comes to shopping carts, you're like, they pay someone to do that.
Absolutely. And I'll say it again. They pay somebody to do it, but that doesn't exclude you from making be an asshole, Right. Hell, there was coffee on the counter up here. This was like months ago or whatever. And boss is like, oh my God, how can you just live like this and have coffee all over the counter? Clean up after yourself. And I said, hold up, bro. I haven't made coffee up here in 7-8 months. So that's somebody else's issue.
They just assume it's a mess. It must be.
It was me.
We always get that label, man. Anything bad happens, they're like, morning show, left the door open.
Right.
Like, what? We weren't even here today. Nah.
Right.
Right.
They do pay people to clean up the popcorn, to clean up the soda, to put their carts back. However, you can still be a nice person, clean up after yourself. I do put my cart back most of the time. Most of the time.
That's changed.
No, it's always been that way.
Oh.
9 out of 10 times, what would be the number you say?
That's about 9 out of 10 times.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't bad. I
would say you do then.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 is you do.
Yeah, I do. But there are those moments that like, all right, I got to go. Lose here.
The idea of just, that's the arc of your life, of food just falling on your face and you not caring.
This text says here, you got food stuck in your beard. When you notice it, do you eat it or get rid of it?
It's a great question. Lindsay?
I don't get much.
We'll
food
we'll say your husband's.
Yeah.
First of all, calm down.
Yeah.
When you get food in your mustache.
Yeah, he's getting rid of it. Definitely.
But would you eat it out of his beard?
No, hell no.
Why not? You do more gross things to him.
It's
That's a good
disgusting.
point.
People get all ripped up about stuff like this. You, as an individual, Royal, right? You do weirder things and grosser things to your partner. Well, the biggest lie we tell children is don't lick things.
Right. Now,
What do
I
we
have
do?
been eating like popcorn or something, and I've gotten it on my shirt, and I've picked it up off my shirt
Yeah.
and thrown it in my mouth. Also, I've eaten something to where I've just, shoved it off my shirt or whatever.
Flung it off, wiped
Flung
it off,
on.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. So I guess both.
So
But
would
not
you
on
eat it out of
someone
his
else.
beard?
No. Mm-mm. No.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm.
You're lying. Gimpy?
Depends on how long it's been there.
True dat.
If I just got done eating, let's just say KFC, because I love KFC and the crumbles get down in the beard, and I go into the bathroom to wash the grease off my hands, okay, because I eat fried chicken like a normal person, waste your fingers, and I notice a couple of crusties in there, well, then, yeah, I'm probably going to pick it out, and I'll probably eat that little bit of the 7 herbs and spices, all right? Now, if I had KFC for lunch, and then I didn't notice it until dinner time, chances are I'm like, what the hell? And then just throw it in the trash. I'm not going to eat it.
Somebody texted in and said, I work with a guy, and one day I saw him, he had a 2-inch hair growing from the middle of his forehead, nowhere near his hairline. Looked like a unicorn. I said nothing. That's different.
Yeah.
Why is that different?
Because what are you going to do with that situation?
Go up there and pluck it for them.
Right. Or are they going to go pluck it?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. Right.
It's probably the one good hair left that they have from that area.
Right. And it's connected to like a brain, trigger, and you pull it and unplug something.
Right. Next thing you know, you forget the third grade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Completely different. Another one said, when the narcissist gets egg on his face, it will be someone else's fault. Who are you? You've never blamed someone else because they didn't tell you had something on your face. That's hardly a narcissistic quality, right? A narcissistic quality is completely different than that. We go around and expect people we work with, people we think we're close to, helping us through life. Hey, man, you left your headlights on. Hey, you came in and didn't tell me my headlights on. You narcissist. You son of a bitch. Hey, your shoe's untied. Why didn't you tell me my shoe was untied? You narcissist. Blaming someone else.
It's every man for themselves in this world, man.
Had sushi on my boob during a date one time. I don't know how long it was before my date told me.
He was probably contemplating whether or not he should.
Oh, he didn't. Was there I bet there wasn't a second date.
You don't think so?
If you're not interested, you ain't correcting.
I guess you're right.
It's a date.
Right. Look at this.
Yeah.
Disgusting broad. Can't even eat properly.
How about this one? Brush your teeth, nasty. I don't know what that means. Are you implying after I eat food, I should have brushed my teeth?
Maybe so. And if you were brushing your teeth, you would have noticed the egg on your face in the mirror, and then therefore you would have cleaned it off and wouldn't have this issue.
I just don't get the brush your teeth nasty. Is there a timing I should be brushing your teeth? Some people brush teeth before they eat breakfast. They do it right when they wake up.
Yeah.
Some people do it after every meal.
Some people only do it once a day.
Some people only do it once a day. That's me. Done it 48 years. Never had braces.
Right.
Had cavities when I got older, but that because of age, and apparently I leave food laying around. All right, we got to take a break. We got tickets to Vince Neil we're going to give away. We're going to see what Gimpy wants to talk about, Conspiracy Theory Thursday, and we got our top list.
More of the Big Man.
Back up, open the hatch, dump, pull away.
Same, yeah.
That makes sense for like private residences because mostly in trash bags. And if there's anything that's too large to go in there, let's say a couch or lawnmower or something like that, usually go beside the trash can, not inside of it, So I can see why they wouldn't go digging through your particular trash, a private residence trash. But with public dumpsters, these big ones, we got people out here all the time dumping stuff in our dumpsters in the back parking lot here.
Yeah, but the Trashosaurus Rex comes and gets it.
Right.
They don't even get to see, most of the time they don't even get to see in it.
Right.
And again, they back up, dump, never even seen the again, from what I've seen, maybe they do stand out up beside it and watch it. But
Right.
people that are trash people that are listening to the show have told us they don't get out of their rig. Only to open a gate to get to the dumpster is the only time they get out of their rigs.
I wonder what that day was like when the automated garbage trucks came through, like the day that they got those, or what they were told they're getting those, what that day was like.
They probably hated it
Why?
because it eliminated jobs
Oh, that's well, I still see 2 or 3 people in those trucks.
for residential, but for Trashosaurus Rex that picks up the dumpster,
Yeah.
it's one person.
Right.
Okay. Kelly Sarber, the president and CEO of Strategic Management Group, again said that we had a woman in New York City mistakenly toss her diamond ring into the trash. She then paid an undisclosed amount of money to have one of the massive barges that took waste from Manhattan to Fresh Kills landfill pulled out of service so the garbage collectors could dig through the thousands of tons of trash until they found it. And they did find her ring. Raccoons. My favorite thing about emptying people's trash is the raccoon surprise. You open the top of a can and stick your hand in to grab the bag, but instead grab a raccoon or 2. I saved a few of those cute little creatures.
Cute. Get out of here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Text came in. I also learned that people tip the trash man with cash and beer.
Nice.
I mean, cash, I've done that. I've tipped the trash people. The problem is they're not always the same people on every route.
Right.
And then, so I'm thinking them what for the one time they did, I don't know. But to tip beer, I don't know if they drink beer.
Right. You're just assuming at that point, and then they take it anyway just because of the gesture. Thanks.
Right.
I'm
And
a
throw it in
recovering
the trash.
alcoholic,
Yeah.
They're like the
asshole.
rich people who throw away new shoes.
Right.
Yeah. Brand new electronics. My friend's dad was a garbage man, and when he would pick up from places like Walmart, Best Buy, if they had TVs or PlayStations, any type of electronics, laptops in the garbages, he'd bring them home. He had friends that would fix them, and we'd get new electronics. Not
I've
bad.
known a lot of people that have done that.
Yeah.
Go dumpster diving and find stereos and TVs and stuff.
Yeah. Hospital biohazard waste. I ran a large trash hauling company in Georgia for 3 years. I can't tell you how many times hospitals threw their bio waste out to save on disposal fees. It got so bad the landfill ended up reporting them to big fines.
In this state, you can take a thing of syringes, and as long as it's in a not a Sharps container, but a container that cannot be punctured, like a thing of laundry soap, you can just write Sharps and then throw it in the trash.
Huh? How about that?
Someone texted in, I work for waste management. It does happen often. Homeless and crackheads sleep in the cans that I pick up, and it is cray. Yeah. So anyway, one man's trash isn't always another man's treasure.
Overwhelmingly, you gave us garbage. Thought we'd do a little fill in the blank news. I'll read part of a headline, leave part of it out. If you can guess the blank part correctly, good on you. First one, Mattel introduces blank Barbie doll. Mattel introduces blank Barbie doll.
That's fun because they got so many different ones now. They've got prosthetic Barbie. They've got slightly overweight Barbie.
Pregnant Barbie.
Pregnant Barbie. I'm trying to think of the other Barbies that I've seen at the store. They got a handy-capable Barbie in a wheelchair.
Think it's a transgender Barbie?
It wouldn't surprise me. We'll go with trannies.
If you've seen the movie, you know Kate McKinnon is a breakout character in the movie. Weird Barbie from the hit movie Barbie is getting its own doll. The doll, inspired by Kate McKinnon's character, and is complete with a pink baby doll dress, short, spiky blonde hair, and pink and blue highlights, squiggly forehead line, and a circle around her eye. Announcing the doll on Instagram, Mattel wrote, Barbie knows what it's like to play just a little too much. The Barbie movie has earned more than $1 billion at the global box office, making it the first film solely directed by a woman to ever cross that mark. Funeral Home is offering blank-themed coffins. Funeral Home is offering blank-themed coffins.
I saw this and I thought, okay, come on now.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about. So
In
good number Marvel Barbie themed.
You nailed it. Nail in the coffin.
Ruins the entire time limit that we have.
What would you want your coffin to look like?
Not Barbie.
Well, neither would I, but that's what people are supposedly paying for.
But you're not Barbie fans.
I am.
Right.
I love Barbie.
Sure. Do you have anything Barbie themed in your home?
No.
Okay, then
absolutely not.
But that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Is that it would have to be something you're a diehard for.
Right.
Yeah.
Mine be like cannabis themed or something like that. And PlayStation.
Barbie Mania continues to sweep the world. One funeral home in El Salvador has boarded the Barbie bandwagon in a big way. The Alpha and Omega Funeral Home in Achapan is offering a pink Barbie-themed coffin for people who want to take their obsession with pop culture sensation to the afterlife. Each of the metal caskets is decorated with stars and features lining imprinted with pictures of Barbie. One of the spokespeople says, we have to jump on this trend, adding he's already sold 10 of the coffins. It's been a success. The coffin is the latest bizarre Barbie merchandise to be released in Latin America, which has also seen products such as Barbie lunchboxes, pink tacos and pastries, and even Barbie-themed airplanes. New Jersey, only state where drivers can't blank. New Jersey, only state where drivers can't blank.
Drive. Right. That's every state. Can't honk their horn. Okay. Yeah, noise ordinance.
Can't.
Can't get out of your car with a can of spray paint and spray paint the person behind you.
Can't pass other drivers. Can't use the express lane.
Okay. All those sound like good ideas.
New Jersey is the only state in the U.S. where drivers can't pump their own gas.
Huh.
It comes as lawmakers in Oregon voted to end the ban on self-serve gas, and Governor Tina Kotek signed off on it, ending the state's 72-year ban. Gas stations across New Jersey have pushed for lawmakers to lift the ban, which has been in effect since 1949. They say self-serve gas would allow them to lower the price.
Absolutely, yeah. I wonder why that's crazy. That's crazy. I thought, those days of somebody else probably having gas station attendants.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. News quickies are stories you may have missed in the news. We cover them here and put a link on our Facebook page if you want more. That's facebook.com/BMMS69.
It's time for news quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News quickies from the Big Man Morning Show at 97.5 KMOD.
Couple mentions bomb during argument on airplane and causes emergency landing. Breeze Airways Flight 717 lifted off from Orlando to make its way to Providence, Rhode Island, when it made the emergency stop at Jacksonville International Airport. Passengers told the news outlets that a couple got into an argument right before the flight took off. One passenger said a man told the woman he was arguing with that he wanted to get off the plane. The flight was only in the air for 45 minutes, according to the passengers, when the captain decided to divert the plane to Jacksonville around 5:30 p.m. because the word bomb was mentioned during the argument between the two people. The people were talking about or claiming the other person had a bomb during their fight. The people around them heard the word, reported it to the airline, and they're obligated to land the plane. The Federal Bureau of Investigations responded to the incident to ensure the safety of the crew and the passengers. A dad and his daughter got up and walked back and said, "We asked to get moved because someone was talking about a bomb and that they had." Video footage.
Stupid.
I know.
Well, if there was a bomb and you move to the back of the plane,
Exactly.
you ain't more safe.
Right. Video footage shared by a passenger showed the man apologizing to the other passengers as he was being placed in handcuffs. By 8 p.m., they had actually canceled the flight. Passengers were allowed to leave the terminal and told that their flight would not resume until tomorrow afternoon. All passengers who got off the plane were told they would be reimbursed if they got a hotel room. And as for the people who were arrested, they will likely face federal criminal charges and could be banned from flying on Breeze Airways.
That feels using the whole bomb thing. That feels a little over the top, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was probably like their argument was probably like, "Don't go in the bathroom. I just dropped a bomb in there." And she's like, "You, honey."
No, they were arguing. That's not what they're arguing about. Right? That's what you said. They were having a disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
So they weren't talking about him just taking a deuce.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Probably said it to stop the plane because he wanted to get off of the plane.
Oh, like he wanted to get away from her?
Right. So you mentioned there's a bomb, knowing that they're going to have to divert and land somewhere. It gets him off the plane, stops their argument, causes more issues, but whatever.
I don't have an issue with airlines wanting to investigate and make sure there isn't a bomb. I think that when someone says it, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think context is super important.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If they're having a disagreement and he's like, or she is always like, "You treat me like every time I say something, it's like I've dropped a bomb on Nagasaki."
Mm-hmm.
Then that obviously isn't a concern for the airline.
True.
Right.
And I think that's super important.
Right. But as passengers are just sitting there minding their own business, maybe looking out the window at the ground down below and not really paying attention to the whole conversation, but the word bomb stands out. I could get where the other ones would be like, "Oh, Oh, hey, whoa.
True, but again,
when
when was the last time there was a bomb on a plane?
that was my big question.
Right? You can now get a pass through TSA to go walk someone to their gate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's a bigger, to me, that should be a no-go.
And
Right.
also, if you're on a plane and you see some couple arguing, you're not minding your own business. You're paying.
Oh, I'm in, yeah.
Yeah, you're
I'm like,
listening. Yeah, exactly.
Where's the popcorn?
Happy vacation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this a vacation to try and fix something?
Right.
Right.
Or are they celebrating?
Mhm.
Or is he even really the one?
Yeah, exactly.
Person attempting to stab someone gets stabbed instead. I hate when it turns around like that.
Yeah.
So this comes out of Portland when at like 7 a.m, this masked man goes up to knocks on this apartment door and then threatens to stab the person on the inside. Well, the person on the inside wasn't having it, so they grabbed a knife, opened the door, and stabbed the stabber instead. Yeah, so they ended up calling the police.
How much could a stabber stab if a stabber could not stab?
Right, did many times. So they call the police. Ambulance comes out, and luckily, the person that was going to get stabbed, the resident of the apartment, wasn't injured. However, the stabber, the potential stabber, the masked man, was taken to the hospital with serious injuries.
I mean, I guess the lesson is there. Don't stab.
I guess.
If you need evidence to show we live in a simulation, girl shows up to ER alone and lost.
Ooh.
A little girl has been abandoned at a Texas hospital. Nobody knows who she is. Doctors at Dallas's Baylor University Medical Center think she's about 6 years old. The girl says her name is Alejandra, but that's really all she knows. The girl was dropped off at the emergency room Monday, possibly by her mom, and is now in the state's foster care system. Whomever abandoned her could be facing felony charges and get multiple years in prison.
Wow.
Yeah, as they should.
Should they? Why?
For abandoning her?
Yeah, but so she what? Then stays in the foster care system?
Mm.
True.
What if she's a time traveler sent back in time? And this is where she's at.
What if in the simulation they're introducing a character
Right?
for future gameplay?
That will be our next president later on down the road.
6 years old, she should know her last name.
Absolutely.
6 years old, she should know what city she lives in.
Mhm.
She may not know where, right? She may not know her address.
Right.
But at 6 years old, they're teaching you your phone number.
Right.
They know your last name.
Unless
least that
she's
much.
been kidnapped unless she's a missing child since maybe birth.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yes, except those usually get reported as missing, and they would probably match that against that database.
Yeah.
Right.
Not name, but like
Sure.
skin color likeness, right?
Yeah. Maybe they
Remember
just
when it was like a
figured that
whole
out yet.
thing when in like the 80s and 90s to go get your fingerprints done?
Yeah.
Like your
Oh,
kid,
yeah, for
they
your
don't
kids.
do that anymore.
They don't do the fingerprints and when the babies are born now anymore?
I mean, they do that. I think you do your foot thing like goes to the thing, like to the birth records department.
Right.
But I'm talking about when all those kids went missing in like the 80s and 90s,
Mhm.
and they would have fingerprinting ID events. So you would have those on record
Yeah.
at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had that. At least I remember my kids being younger and bringing that home. They did that,
don't
and that
do
was
that
in the early
anymore. You're right.
2000s.
Because now you have there's things on Facebook, like you can get IDs made. It's a whole different business now. It's not a free thing anymore.
Right. Which you would think that would be, if it is a thing,
Mhm.
it would be a super beneficiary
Yeah.
community service for whatever department to do.
But maybe they had some issues with it, because you've got first name, last name, fingerprints, address, phone number. Some kid drops it because kids lose things all the time. Next thing you know, they're getting their identity stolen.
Well, remember when they put missing kids on milk cartons? That was the
Yeah.
biggest waste of time,
Yeah.
biggest waste of money.
Mhm.
It made it look like that was helping, but the production of making milk cartons
Right.
was done way ahead of time. And what if that kid's found right? How long do you let that go?
Yeah.
Right.
But we were like, well, they used to put faces on milk. It didn't work. It was a waste of money and time. But the idea that somebody just dropped this kid off, that's obviously horrible, wrong. There should be some sort of repercussion for that individual.
It could also be possible that nobody dropped the kid off. And I
Totally.
hate to say it, that the kid just wandered off, because there's plenty of stories out there where youngins like that, 5, 6 years old, parents are asleep, whatever, over at the door and go wander off. And it's possible that she wandered into the hospital.
I'll do you one better. Wandered off, didn't wander in the hospital. Michael picked up the kid and was like, I don't want none of that smoke, and just dropped the kid off at the hospital.
That's possible too, yeah.
And, right, because if you drop the kid off, you got to answer 100 questions.
Exactly.
You're automatically a kid, especially if you're a male.
Right.
Yeah.
You're automatically the kidnapper. And why aren't there cameras out in front
of the hospital?
Great question.
Yeah. There should be some security footage somewhere.
Or, and I don't understand and maybe hospitals do, we just don't know that they exist. Why aren't there license plate readers at hospitals?
Right.
Do you know how many people that are engaged in criminal activity just drop somebody off who's injured?
Right.
Never go in?
Yeah. What city was this?
Dallas.
Yeah. This, you would think in a big city like Dallas, they would have cameras at the very minimum.
You just assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Does your school have cameras?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah.
They may have a camera,
Mm-hmm.
but do they have cameras that cover the whole facility? And do they work?
Right. I remember, at least when I graduated in 99, they had cameras in the hallways. But I can't remember any outside. I don't remember any outside, just in the hallways.
It's the first thing I do when I go to a public place. I look to see if there's cameras.
Why, you trying not to get caught?
No, I just think it's an important thing to note. And most of the time, they either aren't real cameras, they're just like the globe, or they don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what's the point in even having them up here?
But this little girl, and there's this whole they're minors, but they have to put this kid's face out to see if anybody recognizes her.
Sure.
But it's a minor.
Yeah.
So why is now it okay?
Right. Because ain't nobody coming forward.
Who gives consent for this minor to have their picture posted everywhere?
Right.
The state.
Whew.
Feels a little more complicated than
Absolutely.
just, we got to help, which they should. They should put her face out there so everybody can help find her, who her parents are or who she is.
But how do they prove that, that's my kid? Like some,
You'd have to provide a birth certificate.
right.
Right.
But
But even then,
it's not as easy as you think, right? All right, we got to take a break and we'll be back.
Let's rock. More of the Big Man Morning Show is next. 97.5.
Bodily harm and 2 charges of possessing a firearm without a permit. Turner was hit with 4 charges of criminal damage and got 20 months.
wow.
Damn.
Listen, you order delivery service, you're taking a chance. It's cold. That's probably the number one reason I will not get a delivery order through like a DoorDash.
All right.
Because I know there's a high probability it will be cold when it gets to me.
Yeah. You got
Or sweaty.
traffic into a consideration, and just anything really. But it happens. What do? You put it in the microwave. It's okay.
You can't microwave everything. I mean, you can, but it doesn't it's not the same.
No, it's definitely not the same.
Egg rolls do not microwave well.
No, not the next day, but just enough to, at least get some warmth back into it.
No, but I think the only time when I DoorDash, I never have bad luck when I order Chinese food. Knock on wood. It's always been hot. Always good. Never.
Because I know
luck.
what they're doing. Have you seen how they tie those bags?
Mhm. Yes. Ohio man who refused to share bag of chips with stranger shot in the face. Melvin Wright, 42 years old, was arrested on Wednesday for allegedly shooting a 31-year-old man in the face on Tuesday night outside Lusty Adventures, an adult entertainment club, for some potato chips. He asked for potato chips, but he refused, according to the Akron Beacon Journal. The victim told police that Wright then allegedly pulled out a large handgun, shot him before escaping in a vehicle. The 42-year-old was arrested after he was seen boarding a bus at the Metro Transit on South Broadway Street, according to the Akron Beacon Journal. He was carrying a handgun when he was arrested, the one that might have been used in the shooting. The police department said the victim is currently being hospitalized, and he went into the emergency room on his own. Wright was charged with felonious assault and weapons under disability and is currently being held at the county jail.
I mean, that's one of those, like the headline, he was shot in the face. Can you guys log in? You wouldn't be able to like move. So it must be like a glancing,
like grazed his
Or
face.
grazed
or
his
something.
face.
something like that.
Okay.
And when you look, I'm looking up this place.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go in there. Just by the outside of it looks like, one, they're still in business. It looks pretty run down based off the outside of the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hope that's not one of the answers.
There's no way there's not drugs running through this place.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not surprised somebody got shot in the face outside of this place, to be honest with you. It looks like it carries that type of clientele.
Oh man.
These girls are sad.
That's her nipple.
Yeah.
That's her nipple right there on Facebook.
Yeah, there's definitely meth running through this place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
And-
God.
And just plain potato chips.
Yeah.
Just plain potato chips, huh?
I mean,
some Lay's, maybe some of those kettle chips. I got it.
the kettle chips are the best.
Have you had the what is it? The High Point Bay or whatever, the one with the lighthouse, and they have waffle ones that are so good.
Okay.
Waffles?
Yeah, waffle potato chips,
Okay.
Oh,
so good. Their wavies are solid too.
Okay. Not much of a tater chip fan, to
I'm
be
not a
honest with you.
wavy or
Oh.
Ruffles, really. I like, no.
Ruffles are too much ridges for me.
Yeah.
I'm more of a
Say-
wavy guy.
I'd say you hold all that dip in there, though, man.
Yeah, I know it sounds because the Ruffles are too dense.
Mhm.
There's too much byproduct there.
Mhm.
Too much tater in my chip.
But kettle chips, oof,
Yeah. that's
salt
where
and
it's at.
pepper. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Disneyland guest arrested after stripping naked on a ride. A Disneyland guest is facing charges after being naked on It's a Small World.
Oh, God.
Local authorities escorted the guest off the Anaheim, California property Sunday afternoon. Disneyland resort officials told the media the guest got off the ride while it was in motion, and park operators stopped it when they found out about the situation. Videos and photos on social media show the guest without clothes walking through the sets. Anaheim police charged the man with indecent exposure and being under the influence of a controlled substance, which made me think of some of the other rides that are available because it's a small world. You can make your own joke. Here are some other rides that you maybe would not like to be naked rolling through. Splash Mountain,
Okay.
Big Thunder Mountain, Buzz's Astro Blaster,
Ew.
Yeah.
Snow White's Scary Adventure. These are not porns that Lindsay will be mentioning at 9, maybe. Rocket Rods, Critter Country,
I think I know her.
Adventures in Winnie the Pooh,
Ew.
Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage, and Astro Orbiter. These are all rides that maybe he could have picked that also would have a weird thought in your head as you did when you heard It's a Small World.
It's a small world and they're children. That's what makes it
It's the
weird.
weirdest ride ever.
Wow.
And super outdated. During the holidays, I was talking with my mom and my brother, and they couldn't believe my kids have never seen The Wizard of Oz. I'm like, why would they? Why would I show them this movie?
Because you're forcing it upon them. You had to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's damn near 100 years old or
Right.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, but they'd be like, look, it starts in black and white and ends in color.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
there's color in the middle and then back to black and white.
Yeah. And they just were they could not believe it. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's a Small World is in this boat too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, they did do some updates to the
Oh, I'm
A Small
sure.
World.
Yeah, the
but
new
it's
they
still-
dusted the costumes off.
Right.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. See, now that's a
What?
headline. This happens in Maryland.
Hats off for the rhyme.
Yeah, right. See,
Mhm.
that was
was a good headline.
You told me you just
Killing
pointed
her.
out a missed opportunity, and I was like, "Well, I got one too," so I just
Yeah.
changed it real quick.
I love it. Well done.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. What happened was this happens in Maryland, where police were sent to the home of a 71-year-old Margaret Craig for a welfare check. Margaret hadn't been heard or seen of from the last couple of days. All right, well, for a couple of days because they think that this all happened towards the end of May. So the police go over there and they do the welfare check, and that's when they can smell the decomposing body coming from a basement. Okay. So they go down there and they search, and that's where they found 3 different plastic bags with human remains in it, rotting away in the basement. So the story goes that Margaret accused.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listener email. I'm sorry. We're going to do sports. Let's see what Lindsay has.
Week 14 of the NFL season kicks off with the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the New England Patriots for Thursday Night Football at Acrisure Stadium. It'll be a battle of the backups as Mitch Trubisky is expected to start under center for injured Steelers signal caller Kenny Pickett. Bailey Zappi is slated to get the start at quarterback with Mac Jones' recent benching. Pittsburgh is still fighting for a spot in the postseason. The Steelers are tied for second in the AFC North at 7-5. New England is closer to the top pick in the draft than making the playoffs. The Pats are currently in possession of the second overall pick and are last in the AFC East at 2-10. The New York Jets have a leak problem, and it's not just their offensive line. Earlier this week, Diana Rossini and Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic reported that the Jets wanted Zach Wilson to be their starter again, but wasn't inclined to risk getting hurt. Coach Robert Saleh then told media outlets that he'd spoken with Wilson. The quarterback expressed a willingness to play. Then Aaron Rodgers went on with Pat McAfee and blasted whoever leaked the information and accused those reporting the story of a form of character assassination. Rossini has since doubled down on her reporting, saying that everyone's trying to figure out if the leaker was a player, a coach, a trainer, or it was someone who works in security. She adds that it was multiple people that are very aware because the entire building has been aware of this for over a week now, that Wilson has a reluctance to wanting to go back in there, and he's expressed it openly to people. Rossini adds that Rodgers seemed more angry that the information leaked than he was about the report itself. Meanwhile, the Jets confirmed yesterday that Wilson will be the team starter this Sunday against the Texans.
Who? Or am I sorry? Big deal.
Yes.
It don't matter.
And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great
Normal
taste.
person.
Oh, see, I looked at him as a good bad guy. He was taking out bad people.
Like a Robin Hood sort of thing. But instead of
Yes.
robbing the rich and giving to the poor, we're just killing bad people.
Uh-huh.
Jack the Ripper is another one, killing the whores of the world.
Yes.
If you think that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dexter was not a good person.
I thought so. I thought he was good.
But he was hurting people. He was killing people for minor things, not huge infractions.
Some
You
of them.
bumped into me at the grocery
No,
store.
Yeah.
no,
Some of them,
No.
sure, but not all of them.
no, he wasn't doing it for bumping into me
How
at the grocery
dare you
store.
take the last bagel at work?
I've got the longest running game shows in television history.
Fun.
You want to guess one?
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's on here.
Yeah. Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, of course.
Mhm.
It's
The
what brought
Price
us.
is Right.
Price is Right, of course.
Okay. So those are the 3 basics. What about Press Your Luck?
No.
Yeah.
So, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Really?
22 years. Password, 23 years.
The Pyramid.
What's My Line? 24 years. Pyramid, 25 years. Let's Make a Deal 35 years.
Wow.
Now, does that count? Because it wasn't 35 years consecutive. It was
Right.
It was the Monty guy for a while, and then they brought it back with Wayne Brady. So I guess mashing together it works.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be consecutive, like Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy. Those are all consecutive years.
Yeah, I think if you work at KMOD and then take a break and come back, you get X number of years.
Okay.
Right?
Alrighty then.
Ooh.
Family Feud, 40 years.
Okay.
I was
Wheel of Fortune, 48 years. Jeopardy, 54 years. This show I've never heard of because it's in another country. Des Chiffres et de Lettres.
Sure, easy for
Numbers and Letters, 56 years. It's still on today. Price is Right, 60 years.
So that's the longest. Price is Right.
Price is Right, yeah,
Wow.
is the longest one. Or is it going to be a thing that comes out like it did with Bob Barker that he had to kind of step away because
he owed.
Mhm.
he like a miscusi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. Well, it was a different time then.
Right. It changes. Empathy towards humans.
All right.
60 years is a long time, though,
Yeah.
for a
Mhm.
game show.
Yeah, for sure. It just makes me wonder how long those are going to be on. Are they going to keep doing it? They're going to revamp it, make it different so they can keep that name going. Because really, that's all that people are going because of the name. People were watching because of the name, because they watched it growing up. Everybody knows that when you're sick and you're staying home from school, you're watching The Price is Right.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think shows like Price is Right is a different game show, obviously, than like Jeopardy or Wheel, because they have to technologically evolve.
Mhm.
Okay.
They have to evolve the show and the games.
Right.
You can have some classics, but you've got to introduce new games on
Okay.
Price is Right, because technology changes and people's understanding of things changes.
That makes sense.
Wheel of Fortune, it's spin a wheel,
Mhm.
earn points.
It's
Now,
the
how
same
they
game.
derive the letters and things like that, or on Jeopardy, can obviously change.
Mhm.
But overall, it's the same game.
Yeah. There's no need to change it.
Tic-tac-toe, celebrity tip, whatever, doesn't last because you get annoyed. You get
Mhm.
annoyed with just because you're famous doesn't mean you're awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And some of these other shows, that's why I like Pyramid, and like it runs its exhaustion level.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's why they don't do just Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. You want to see people that are like, quote unquote, you win.
Right. It gives you hope
Absolutely.
and a chance that you could be on that show someday and you could win that money.
The number of people that are like, to know someone to be on Wheel of Fortune is rare. Think about all the times they come through
Mm.
and recruit people. And then how many people from here actually get on the show?
Mm.
Not very many,
Mhm.
if you think about it. So where do those people come from? Well, they recruit people. Some are up and coming actors. Like
Okay.
they tried, because they have to fill it. Lindsay's tried to be on game shows before. One of the hardest parts about being on a game show is that you have to fly out on your own, put yourself up, and you might get on the show.
Right. They don't pay for you to be out there until you finally make the final cut.
And when you're on the show, you might just get the minimum,
Mm-hmm.
which is like $1,000 now or something like that, which you're like,
Yeah.
that's a lot. It is a lot. Not after hotel and airfare and expenses
In California.
in anywhere.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You go to any hotel, you're not gonna, even if you're gonna stay at the Comfort Inn.
Right.
And if you are, it's still $200. You're there a week. That's $1,000.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter where it's at. You ain't staying at the Sunnyside Inn with the satellite dish painted yellow.
Right. With all the crackheads and whores.
Well, I mean,
Um,
you can get that any hotel, right?
Rugby player loses his favorite testicle in freak accident. Jack Johnson is the guy's name.
Making banana pancakes.
Not to be confused with the singer. He's a rugby star with the Newcastle Thunder over in England, and he was violently lost something extremely close to him in what he calls a freak accident during training. His favorite testicle, which is the left one, reportedly exploded after taking a direct shot from a knee. It had to be removed.
This isn't the first time this has happened in rugby.
No, that's
It happens a
violent
lot.
sport, man.
Mhm.
It happens. And I guess they don't wear cups, or only pussies do, I guess. I don't know. So I do jujitsu, right? And I wear a cup, and I can tell it annoys some of the guys.
Mhm.
Why? Because when they kick you, it goes, "Donk."
Yeah, or like when you're changing positions, that like there's a move where you put your knee into their stomach or on their sternum,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that sometimes your foot will then hit their balls.
Yeah.
And I just don't want people's appendages on my balls.
Sure.
Sorry,
Makes sense.
but if I'm
Is
in
it
rugby,
ticklish or what?
but I gotta say, if there is a if there's a chance, if I did radio broadcasting and there was a chance I could rupture a testicle doing it, I'm wearing a cup to protect my balls.
Absolutely.
And these are ones of pros that this is happening to.
Mhm.
You have no use for yours right now at all whatsoever. I mean, the path has been blocked.
Yeah,
So,
I have
like,
had a vasectomy.
Yeah,
Yes.
the use for your boys is null right now.
Yeah.
But I get it.
No, it's
You kind of grown attached to them over the years.
it's the mental part.
Yeah.
Right.
If you have one less testicle, you're half a man,
That is true.
and you're gonna feel that way. It's been documented.
Well, some men feel that if they have a vasectomy, they feel like less of a man.
I've never felt that.
Well,
I got two reminders.
Right. I'm not saying that you do, but there's some guys out there that,
I've never heard anybody say that. Maybe they do, but I've never heard a guy say that.
well, fortunately for Jack Johnson, he kept his sense of humor. He says that the team season has been a testy one, and we've not been on the ball as we should have been. Yeah. Poor guy.
That's got to be painful.
I'm sure.
Imagine it does.
I'm sure.
Just getting grazed
Oh yeah,
is a painful experience.
yeah,
Let alone a testicular rupture.
Yeah.
yeah.
Band name. Hello,
Yeah.
we are testicular rupture.
Yeah.
It is a good band name.
A guy sprained my ankle. I know,
Mm-hmm.
right? I pull a muscle. I know my rotator cuff. I can identify that. If it, it's just painful. That's all I can
Yeah.
identify.
That's it.
It's my testicle. It's painful. Full stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Right?
Nothing more, nothing less.
Classic Eddie Murphy, man. Guys get hit in the balls. If it's just you barely graze it, guys will go, "But did that just hit my ah?"
Is that like when you get it twisted? When one gets twisted? Like,
Oh
No,
no.
it's a different thing.
That can happen while you're sleeping.
yeah, that happened to a kid in school, in elementary school,
Yeah.
and he had to have it removed, I think.
It typically, if it can't be, which it's weird to say this with you're using a child reference, is
Yeah.
it has to be massaged,
Oh.
and then but a surgery sometimes is necessary to untie it.
Testicular torsion
Yeah.
occurs when the testicle rotates, twisting the spermatic cord that brings blood to the scrotum. The reduced blood flow causes sudden and often severe pain and swelling. Testicular torsion is most common between the ages 12 and 18, but can occur at any age, even before birth.
So
Wow.
like what happened is like a Karen went to God and was like, "Hey, this feels hardly fair.
Yeah.
Once a month I'm bleeding. I got to
Mhm.
carry a kid and grow an organ inside me and then dispose of it. Can we even this out?" And he's like, "I could tie his balls in a knot for a 6-year period."
Right. Like you gotta
Maybe.
give him something to worry about. Please.
I'm good. I'm good on all that.
Do you know anybody that's ever gotten that gimpy?
I do. My nephew, as a matter of fact, came out that way and had to have surgery to get it fixed.
Oh, out of the womb.
Yeah.
So they had to do surgery
Yeah.
on a baby.
On a baby. They had to go
On a
cut his
baby's
little
balls.
baby balls open. Yeah.
Listen, they were already doing the top part, so
right.
Yeah.
Might
At
as
least
well.
he'll
Just-
never remember it.
Maybe. Yeah.
know?
Maybe deep seated down in there somewhere. Maybe some hypnotherapy can bring it back. I don't know. But yeah.
I mean,
Bizarre.
I hear you,
Mm,
but psychologically, they say those type of things live with you.
right.
That you may not remember it,
Mhm.
but your brain does.
Yeah. It's stored in the memory bank somewhere deep
Yeah.
down inside.
Yeah. Much like they were like, nah, C-sections are fine. It
It
doesn't affect the baby at all.
That explains what
Nah,
we're supposed to
it doesn't.
It
How?
absolutely does.
How?
They don't get the gut flora.
Mm.
You know, that white
They don't-
cheese
Yeah.
that's
They
covered
don't
over
get
baby.
the bacteria from your vagina.
Right.
Vag back.
They don't.
I get that.
They don't. And so those babies tend to have more digestive problems.
Interesting.
Go down the rabbit hole. Nobody does more C-sections on the planet than America.
Mhm.
We're in a hurry. Turn and burn, man. Turn and
Mhm.
burn.
I can't be inconvenienced. I
Ah.
got golf. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. 'Tis the season for Shiner holiday cheer from Moody's Jewelry and KMOD. Catch us playing a rocked up or jacked up Christmas song and score a 6-pack of Shiner holiday cheer beer and a $100 gift card from Moody's Jewelry. You're also instantly qualified for a $2,000 Moody's upgrade. So be listening today and all day long for that Shiner holiday cheer.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning, Corbin. The Cowboy Cup is going on this weekend, tomorrow, Saturday, as a matter of fact, and you still have time to sign up for My Big Adventure. It's a VIP experience you'll never remember. We are picking a winner today. Well, Brady's going to pick a winner today. So you probably have, I want to say, until about 5 p.m. this evening to get signed up at the website, therocksgamod.com. Yeah.
You're just nervous.
A little bit.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and see what Gimpy has to talk about.
Around the world, take my strong hand, get on the give train, on the give train. Around the world, take my strong hand, get on the give train, give train.
I feel like it, cram 12 pickles down my throat pretty easily. Easy. All right, so I just mentioned the Cowboy Cup and how it's going on this weekend. It is Oklahoma's premier cannabis championship, and I have the proprietor of said cup here with us, Daniel. How you doing, brother?
Fantastic, Gimster.
So, for those who don't know what the Cowboy Cup is, let's have it real quick. What is it?
Cowboy Cup is Oklahoma's premier cannabis championship and arts festival. Think about it like a wine competition. So in October, the processors and growers from across the state enter their products. We have them judged over the next couple of months, and we throw a big party this weekend out at Exchange Center at Expo Square, all around the award ceremony.
Now, you guys used to be in Stillwater.
We
over
were at Tumbleweed for years.
You did that for the longest time. Why move it to Tulsa all of a sudden?
Man, we're great friends with the guys at Tumbleweeds, and I can't thank Kerry enough for having us out there all those years. We still talk. We just outgrew the place. So we're excited to be at Exchange Center, with all the new capabilities and everything being on concrete now. I think it's going to be a lot better experience for everybody. We're a lot closer to people in Tulsa, and so hopefully it's easier to get out and get back home. And so we try to get a bigger crowd.
Makes good sense. What can people expect at the Cowboy Cup going on Friday and Saturday at the Exchange Center?
Yeah, so if you've been to Cowboy Cup, it's all the same thing. The only difference this year is we have Exchange Center. So we'll be having our classes, and we've got a big food court in there. 30 or 40 vendors inside there. That is a no smoking area. However, as soon as you walk out the east doors of that building, you go into a big fenced in area. I'm going to see what you're used to seeing, the big tents filled with vendors. We've got main stage and all that, plenty of smoking, light them up right as soon as you get out the door. So normal stuff. We've got a lot of really good classes lined up, both Friday and Saturday. You can get on cowboycup.com and check out that list. We've got a bunch of bands over the 2 days. Again, get on there and check that out. But we're going to have a bunch of fun out there. We got the award ceremony at 8:30. We're going to buckle the best of the best in Oklahoma cannabis.
Yeah, that was a fun little trip. Thanks for letting me be a part of the judging process. 42 samples in what was it, like a month and a half or something like that?
Yeah, so
we had to do. So yeah, it was a good time. And then of course I was part of the finalist, choosing the finalist in that one as well, which was a hoot and a half. It was a great way to spend a Sunday afternoon down there in Shawnee, helping you guys out with that one. And I was telling Daniel, I think I mentioned this in the podcast. I don't know if I mentioned it on air or whatever, but there were moments there towards the end where I almost fell out of my seat because we had judged so much. It was like 22 samples,
made
in
it to the
6
final.
hours. in 6 hours. We had judged, and we picked, and we prodded, and we poked, we squeezed, we tested, and there were a couple times there towards the end that, you know, I'm not like falling asleep, but it's like when you fall asleep and, you know, you're like in that falling area and you end up kicking your leg. Yeah, that happened a couple of times, and I was like, God, I hope nobody saw that the first time. And then the second time I was like, okay, I think somebody saw me. And the third time I was like, all right, somebody saw me almost fall out of my seat. It was such an amazing. Or did they? I don't know. I could have been tripping the whole time. I don't know. So there's classes going on at seminars. What kind of classes and seminars are we talking about here? For the people that aren't, you know, the connoisseurs quite like yourself and and me.
Yeah, mainly the classes. We've got a lot of informational classes if you're just kind of curious or just getting into it and want to know more. We've got Thunder Walker coming out and doing a class. We've got stuff on the latest cannabis tech. We've got a testing Q&A to go in and talk to some of the testing lab people. And so it's really just a good mix. It's a good mix.
Let's talk cannabis tech, because that's the first time I've ever heard that term used before.
Yeah.
I grow my own, and I do it in my backyard, and I just plant some seeds and let nature take its place. That's my tech.
Yeah.
Rain and sun.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
So we've got a company coming up. I was just with them at MJ Biz called Fermata. They've got a software. It's an AI software called Croptimus. This thing scans your crop, indoor, outdoor, doesn't matter, and it will tell you if you have
That's insane.
If you have a bug. And so what it does, you come in the morning and you've got this augmented reality view of your grow room, and it's got a little bug icon, and you click that bug icon, it zooms in on that plant all the way down to the leaf, and it'll show you a bug, the smallest bug it'll show you a whitefly.
Really?
And so it's a scouting technology. And so it not only does that, it shows leaf wilt, mechanical damage, nutrient deficiencies, powdery mildew, botrytis, a lot of stuff that these cannabis growers are looking for every day. And so basically you come into your room that morning with a report. And so instead of going in there and trying to find all your problems, it's already found them. So you're back in there mitigating.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really neat deal. Again, it's called Croptimus. It's fermata.tech if you guys want to check it out. But they'll be talking and a bunch of other stuff. So it's just really cutting edge stuff, and it's a neat place to come.
That's really cool, because I could have used something like that over the summer. I had a real bad problem with like worms, like silkworms and stuff like that, eating my crops, and it destroyed quite a bit of it and pissed me off. If it wasn't my dogs pissing on it, you know, and ruining my crops.
Will it detect dogs pissing on your crops?
No, it won't detect. Okay. Well, if your plant started wilting because of the dog piss, yes, it would. It would tell
Makes
you
good sense. So does that, and maybe you know, maybe don't know, does that particular software give you an idea of like how to treat it? Because I was like, I'm out there every day picking off these stupid worms and throwing them across the yard just to find another 6 of them, you know, later on. So does it give you an idea of like, all right, this is what you got, white flies, bugs, whatever. This is how you take care of it, or?
So not in the software itself, but they do have plant scientists on staff that you can call. Most people in cannabis are pretty smart and kind of know what they're doing and how to mitigate some of these issues. But we do have they do have qualified staff that you can call and get some of those.
Get some customer support and be like, hey, this is what I got. Your AI, whatever, detected this. How do I get rid of it? Oh, well, this is what you want to use.
And it's not a robot. It doesn't go out there and fix the problem. You still have to have manpower and people on the ground. It just makes that labor that much more efficient. I mean, to have something that'll literally tell you if you have a bug. And another thing is theft. If somebody comes out on your grow and they take a bud out of the middle of the grow, it'll tell you the next morning because it's missing. It's mechanical damage.
Now,
Wow.
that sounds all very advanced. So is the Cowboy Cup for only advanced people, or is it for both?
No, like I said, we've got plenty of He just got me into the technology, which is blows my skirt up. But it's for everybody. Like I said, if you're just new into it and want to learn more, you don't even have to go into the smoking area to be able to go into the classes and talk to some people and check stuff out. So I think it's a place for everybody.
Do you have to have your card to come out to the Cowboy Cup and enjoy at least the classes and seminars and stuff like that?
No, you do not. So it's 18 and over, no card required. If you do have a card, all of our vendors are given what we call Cowboy Cash, which are Cowboy Cash coupons. So you can go out there, gather those up throughout the day, and take them to best dispensaries and cash them all in for super duper cheap, next to nothing. And so it just gives our vendors a way to legally give out product at that event without actually doing it there.
That's pretty awesome.
Genius.
Yeah.
Free weed.
Right. Well, for the most part, anyway. For the most part. All right. So entertainment. You say we got bands out there. Who are we going to have entertain us for the next 2 days?
Awesome. Yeah. Willie Waldman project's coming up.
Okay.
I've got a band called Grass Crack. We've got Dr. Junior's coming out to perform. Full Flavor Kings, Charlie Red. Those guys are around here all the time. They're always fun. We always have them out. But we've got acoustic music going on throughout the day, and then we'll crank the drums up about 4 or 5 o'clock. And
very nice, like a drum circle, or are we all going to gather around?
As soon as they put drums in, I can't control the noise anymore. So we always kind of back that off. But like I said, we'll have acoustic music all day, and 4 or 5 we'll crank up the big bands.
At a cannabis championship convention festival, food, I feel, is going to be very important.
Yep.
What can we expect out there? A lot of desserts. Am I just like going to have to, worry about Cheetos all day or what?
No, we've got a good mix. We've got
Funyuns, yes.
Yeah.
all the fun stuff you're used to seeing out at the fairgrounds, at Expo Square. We've got taco trucks. We've got coffee trucks. We've got hamburger trucks and French fries and corn dogs and funnel cakes and
all the good stuff.
Yeah, all the fun, all the fun
delicious.
fair stuff
All
at
right.
Expo Square.
What's the hours?
We are noon to 11 on Friday, and we are 11 to 11 on Saturday. We'll have the award show at 8:30 Saturday evening.
Oh, this is an all-day event, both days.
Yep.
You don't have to show up at noon if you don't want to.
You can come and go too.
Okay, really? Without any problems at all whatsoever. It's like, hey, I'm going to go down the road, get me something that's not deep fried and delicious.
Correct.
With whatever reason you want to do that for. But that's awesome. Because there's a lot of places out there that are like, hey, once you're gone, you can't come back.
No, my whole crew and my whole team is just out there to make sure you guys have a good time. It's a really comfortable place, and we pride ourselves.
Okay. What kind of categories are we talking about when it comes to the award ceremonies? Now, I know I judge the indoor flower competition, but what else do we have to look forward to so far as the award ceremonies?
Yeah, and so several edibles categories, several cartridge categories, indoor flower, sun-grown flower, pre-rolls, infused pre-rolls, topicals, which is really good. Topicals are a big thing right now, especially for people who aren't using cannabis. They're actually smoking cannabis. They're actually getting a lot of relief out of topicals and tinctures, capsules, stuff like that.
Okay. Let's look forward to like next year. And let's say that somebody wants to enter their product into the Cowboy Cup. How would they go about doing that? Can any regular Joe like me in my backyard grow submit some product into it, or do you have to be, a major company to do so?
Yeah, don't have to be a major company, but you do have to hold a valid OMMA license. So you have to be a licensed grower or processor to enter the competition. No home grows.
No home grows. Okay.
Yep, we'll start doing all that into September is when our competition drop-off starts. We'll probably have all that stuff on the website by April or May to have those dates, so everybody can start getting ready for that.
Fantastic. You guys got anything you want to ask?
I mean, I don't know. I wanted to ask about what it's like to be taken seriously now, because you started this. Everybody was kind of not sure how it was going to work out. And now people, take the Cowboy Cup super seriously. Cities take notice because of the tax dollars. Congratulations, man. I mean, you've turned this into a monster. It's like fishing. You're like, I'm just fishing. And the next thing you know, you're tightening down because you've got a monster on the line.
Yep. Well, you guys, we doubled down on advertising. And so we spend a lot of money getting out there. We always wanted to be the big one because we thought we could do it the best. So it's not because
really
we didn't
grown,
spend the money, and we've been everywhere. I was at Rocklahoma with Gimpy this year. We were at Born and Raised. We've been to all the cannabis festivals. We've got you guys. We've got Herbage Magazine and Cincy Magazine and all these. We're just everywhere we can be. We've probably got a flyer in every dispensary.
Well, and I think the thing that you guys provide that if you are someone who's wants to get into this world and you see maybe the medical benefits for it, or maybe not, this is the place to do it, because going into a dispensary, either you can't or it's overwhelming. Right. And this is the place, I think, to get some information and knowledge instead of just jumping into the deep end.
Right. Well, you go into a dispensary and you've got the bud tender, and there's a lot of dispensaries that have good bud tenders, but you come to Cowboy Cup, you're going to talk to the people that are making it. You're going to talk to pros, and you're going to be able to walk around and really get the answers you're looking for. Yeah,
that's one of the appeals that I see that you guys provide is somebody, let's just go with a mom or somebody who's like, I don't know what to do. They think there's some aura covering people that have their card, and this is the place to go, and you get all the answers and you get all walks of life in there.
Yep. And you can do it all without walking into smoke too, if you wanted to. So.
Yeah. Lindsay?
What do the award winners get?
And so that's funny. We're in Oklahoma. So we have Cowboy Cup belt buckles that Molly's Custom Silver makes for us every year for first place. Pardon me. Custom spurs for second place, and bolo ties for third, and every one of them's handmade, hand
That's
engraved.
so awesome.
That is
Handmade,
cool.
hand engraved. This year, me and Greg spent a lot of time, months, making the bases. So we've got beautiful black walnut bases that Greg and I made in our office that are inlaid with turquoise, and we really spent a lot of time and put a lot of love into them. So we're excited to give them out.
What's the thing when the Cowboy Cup is over, which is taking place this weekend over on the fairgrounds? What's the thing that that you always go, man, we should have highlighted this?
Gosh, I don't know. We try to highlight it all. You know, we're this year. This is a good question. So usually takes us about a week to get the winners on the website because we're all tired. This year we're going to get them all ready tonight, and then Sunday night we're going to
just make it live
and just drop it live so everybody knows who won.
Yeah. How's the interest from other companies? Do you have to be an Oklahoma company to be out there? I mean, are you starting to get a lot of national interest?
Absolutely, and we have for a while. No, you only have to be a licensed OMA company to enter the competition. The vendor booths and sponsorships are open really to anybody, and we've got people from all over the country. Clonex is coming out. Fermata will be there. You know, that's actually an Israeli company. They're going to be there. We've got, I mean, people from all over the country.
It's just grown to a rate that is hard to even explain to people, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
And this is going to be a weird question, but I think it's a question. Again, there's some wrong stigmas associated with the marijuana industry. Is this a family event?
No, there's a lot of cannabis events you can go to that you can bring your children to because of the smoke and it's a really calm place, but we don't really want you to bring your young children out there.
Right. It's not a party, but also there's no face painting.
That's right.
No balloon animals, nothing like that.
There may be face painting, but it's adult face painting.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
We've had face painting.
Lastly, before we go, all right, so you got the award ceremony on Saturday. And let's just say you go up and like this on indoor flower here won first place. I want to purchase said flower. Is there going to be a way to find out where that flower is at, which dispensaries I can go to? Or is that just like part of the secret, mustard, whatever?
No, there's going to be ways. So we'll announce the winners. Probably the best thing to do is hit those guys up on their Instagram and just ask them, hey, where do you get this flower at?
Okay.
So as soon as I announce it, it's going to be gone. Nobody's going to be able to get it. So, yeah.
Right. So
it'll be hard to find for a long time.
Are the suppliers aware of the demand they're going to get the moment? Or I mean, obviously they're hoping for that, but usually people are not prepared for those moments.
Well, it's fifth year. They know now. I mean, we'll set the stamp. We'll set the price for premium cannabis tomorrow or on Saturday because whoever wins this thing, they'll be getting prime prices and they'll be sold out.
How much is admission?
$45 a day, flat fee out the door. So $45 a day, $75 for the weekend.
Right.
Okay. And you go to cowboycup.com, or can we go straight to the fairgrounds and pick up tickets there?
You can pick up tickets at the fairgrounds. It's all the same price.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, Daniel, thanks for taking the time to come and hang out with us and tell us all about the Cannabis Cup. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for having me out. It's going to be
around the world, take my strong hand, get on the give train, on the give train. Around the world, take my strong hand, get on the give train.
I feel like cram 12 pickles down my throat pretty easily.
You're listening to the Big Mad Morning Show. This is Tulsa's Morning Show. 97.5 KMOD. KMOD Total Traffic Network.
It's a weird thing for the 5-year-old to be there. Two, another employee had a gun on him.
Yeah.
The other thing too was Subways. They're everywhere.
Right.
There was a time that I believe there were more Subways than McDonald's and Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and all that. They were the most widely dispersed chain.
Yeah, especially for sub sandwiches. Faux show. They had the corner market there, but then some other places started.
I think they're still pretty high up on the list.
You think so?
Absolutely. You go anywhere, there's a Subway.
Yeah, I guess right.
Anywhere.
Inside,
They're so
gas
easy.
stations and stuff.
It's not like a Chick-fil-A, right? Like you go, there are towns that just don't have Chick-fil-A's. I would bet almost every town has a Subway sandwich shop.
And if you're putting too much mayonnaise on mine, I'm giving you a tip. If I don't have to ask for it.
Here's the deal. You can tell them to stop anytime because you're sitting there watching them Make your sandwich. You see how much of everything that they put on. You could have been like, whoa, dial it back on the mayonnaise, man.
Or you can say light mayo, or
Right, but what's light mayo?
light on the mayo.
Yeah, but how much is
so
light? Your light
I'll
and
go to
my
the
light are
squirt.
not the same.
Yeah.
And I'm the artist here.
All right. These are the most
True.
popular sandwich chains in America. Okay. This is what it says. Blimpie. Have you ever had a Blimpie?
Yeah.
I have, but it's not most popular.
Mhm.
It's the most locations,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because I can name my favorite sandwich shop, but it's not everywhere.
Right.
And I would wager the majority of people in this town have never eaten at it, right? So you can't go with most popular. You have to have which sandwich shop has the most locations.
Largest sandwich chain in the U.S. Oh, here we go. Fun. This is as of 2020, so it's a couple of years old. But it says largest sandwich chain. So does that quantify?
I think so.
As it could be.
Sure.
Okay. Continue to the site. Subway comes in at number 6.
Oh.
It has their rankings on.
What's
here.
number 1?
I got to scroll down. It doesn't have a number 1 listed on the quick list.
Well, what's number 5?
Listen, here's how it goes. 6, 18, 34, 46, 58, 63, 69, 89, 99, 100. There's nothing really. It says
Okay.
rank in there.
Okay. So, all right. So the list you're looking at, those are sandwich ones on the list. So the number 1 sandwich shop is Subway, but it comes on number 6 of all, like probably fast food.
Probably so. U.S. sales and U.S. units. Subway did 10,000. This is the 2019 numbers. Did $10,000 in 2019 with 23,801 units. So is that sandwiches sold?
Or locations.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is when you go. There's been many times I haven't said light mustard or whatever, but sometimes I get more and sometimes I get less. There's no consistency with the.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of that's on the sandwich maker, sandwich artist, whatever you want.
I am confident that after her 2 weeks of working there, she had diligent training.
She sat back there and watched the videos, man, before she started the job.
There's no video.
There's no orientation videos.
Watch Spider. Make sure you powder your balls. We're gonna change it. It's not patio parties. It's now powder your balls parties.
I like that. Are you going to bring the powder? Are you going to be doing the powdering? Who's powdering?
Every patio party
Powder
since the
before you
age of
come.
time.
Right.
Every single one.
Powder them up.
Absolutely.
Do you just like put a pile on like the counter and just kind of dip like you would your donuts and your coffee?
No.
Or?
So what I do is I put it in my hand, right? And then I waddle into the carpeted area in the closet, right?
Okay.
And then I have to it's kind of like a squat.
Okay.
And then I do the sides.
Okay.
And then I go underneath.
Okay. No padding at all whatsoever. Just kind of.
No padding.
Okay.
It's not padding. It's not playtime.
Well, what you do in your carpeted part of your closet is your business.
And then whatever's
Is it
left
a
goes in
rub?
my armpits.
Okay. Makes sense.
If it's not a pad, is it a rub down?
That's what I said. I said rub.
Rub.
Yeah.
Right,
You said,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. What are you, a patter?
I'm not a patter. I'm not even a powderer.
Dude.
I'm a sprayer.
Dude.
I'm a sprayer. I got the talc spray,
Dude,
man.
No.
Mhm.
Dude, going with
Mhm.
powder is a game changer.
You say that now, but on a steamy, balmy day like it has been, you get that cold spray on your boys. Woo.
That's temporary relief.
Yeah.
I'm talking long lasting.
Yeah, but I mean, it has the powder in it, and it does last a while. But that initial shock of the freezing cold air blasting in my balls feels great. Don't knock it till you
Well,
try
what is
it.
the movements is what I'm worried about.
What, you think it's going to blast them off like
It
a
could
sand
Yes,
blaster?
I know. I don't want a cold burn. Airport runway worker killed after being sucked into the airplane engine.
Yikes.
Federal officials are investigating the weekend death of a grounds worker at the Alabama airport. NTSB said the worker at Montgomery Regional Airport was killed after he was sucked into the engine of an airplane. It happened Saturday afternoon, according to the NTSB. The American Airlines plane had just arrived from DFW when a ground support personnel was ingested into the engine. The unidentified worker was employed by Piedmont Airlines, which is a subsidiary of American Airlines. So, if you look at an engine, when it's not moving, it's got the little curly Q.
Mm-hmm.
That is on there to know if the plane engine is on.
Well, that makes perfectly good sense. Guess it didn't work for this guy, though.
He may not have been present that day or skipped that part of the training
Right.
process.
I wonder what that is.
Dude,
Yeah.
I don't even think you probably have time
No, you don't feel anything.
to. And does it? So when I was in high school, we had a family friend that owned a chicken farm,
Mm-hmm.
and during chicken harvest season, we would go and he'd pay us, and you make good money, right?
Yeah.
And you load up just the females, you don't load up the males, but you have to kill the males, and you're supposed to pop their necks and throw them in one of the cages, and then they get collected later, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, makes no sense. I'm sorry, cancel me. I don't know. I'm just saying that's the way it worked.
Uh-huh.
Some of us, not me, would throw the chicken into the industrial fan. That chicken into the industrial fan, which are those big. Boom, 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 boom.
No, not me.
Have you seen my throws?
I would never do. Listen, Pepsi bowling champ of the 8th
That's
grade.
not throwing.
You got to throw a ball.
It's rolling.
Whatever. You rolled that rooster on into the fan.
And it kind of like the point being is it would stall the fan wouldn't just keep running.
Right.
Right? Like it kind of would.
Yeah, bog down a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that happening with an airplane?
You would think.
You would think. But if that's the case, if something that ends up getting sucked into the engine is automatically going to shut the engine off, that would not be a good idea for a plane. Because ducks, geese, birds, Superman, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the movie where they planted the plane in the Hudson, that's what that was about.
Yeah. So if it was going to, shut off anytime something flew into the engine, well, they wouldn't be on the ground or they wouldn't be in the air.
And what type of plane are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
A big one, a small one.
If it's a regional airport,
seater?
it's hard. No, it ain't a big one. But Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's play a game. Vince Neal is going to be at the Hard Rock Friday, January 12th. Tickets available, hardrockcasinotulsa.com. And we're going to play Schnipp, Schnapp, Schnurr. Current record is...
Well, sir, I am leading with 15. Lindsay is right back behind me with 13. And you have 10.
Last week's winner,
That'd be Lindsay.
Corbin and Gimpy at 918-460-KMOD. 918-460-KMOD. Call up, decide who's going to be your clue giver. Whoever gets the most right is winning those tickets to see Vince Neal on Friday, January 12th. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name? Jake, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, man. Who do you want to give clues? Corbin or Gimpy? Lindsay? Gimpy.
Lindsay won last week.
Yeah.
Gimpy.
All right, 60
Come on,
seconds are on the clock. Timer starts after the first clue. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Jake. Blank rides a little blanca. It's like a Mexican version of a car.
Again.
No. All right. So it's down. It's not up super high. It's down really. And they have hydraulics on them. Yes.
Lowrider.
There you go. My blank, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty.
Country.
Yes. Some people have turkey on Thanksgiving. Other people will have this. It's also
Ham.
Yes. This is something that a child needs to sit in to be up a little higher.
High chair.
No, not the high chair, the other one.
Booster seat.
You got it. I like to have total blank of a situation so everything goes.
Control.
Yes. The Playboy. Oh, and the Christmas Story. Ralphie had to wear a pink one of these.
Bunny suit.
Yep. The one chip blank. It's where you eat a chip that's hotter than hell.
The one chip challenge.
There you go. This is a type of clothing back in the
Time. 7 is what I got. Pretty good, Jake. Might be good enough for those Vince Neal tickets. Hang on the line, okay?
All right.
Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Jacob.
Jacob, how are you today?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. It's the Battle of the Jakes. 60 seconds are on the clock. 7 is the number to beat. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Blank, future, present.
Pass.
Yes. Chocolate, not cake. There's also the name of a burger joint on Harvard.
I can hear you say that.
Okay, chocolate, not a cake. They're kind of the corners are the best. It's a burger joint on Harvard.
Brownies.
Correct. This is if you commit a foul in basketball, you go to this spot and shoot a
Free throw line.
drop line.
Free throw.
Yes. A date of which food isn't good anymore. The food would then be known as
Expiration date. Expired.
yes. This is a slang term for a lesbian, also used to block water.
Dyke.
Yes.
Damn.
Blake, dead ahead.
Land.
Titanic. The Titanic hit a.
Oh, Lordy. Iceberg.
Wow. Bro, we lost, man. That was not even. Thought I had it with that
My bad,
one.
brother.
Dude, it happens. Probably my fault more than anything. Dude, have a great day. I appreciate it, Jacob.
Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy. See you later. Jake, congratulations, man. You're getting those tickets. You're going to go see Vince Neil on Friday, January 12th at the Hard Rock Casino.
Looks like the best Jake won.
Humble in your winning. I love it, sir. Have a great day.
You have a good day.
Hang on the line. Don't go anywhere. All right, which one do you got first, Lindsay?
All right, this is the one that Gimpy stopped on.
Yeah, the 80s pair of jeans. A horse is the logo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where I was going.
Michael.
Jordache.
Well,
Try
to get you there.
Yeah.
And then this is.
Yeah, this is a type of lettuce, and it's also a big thing that that the Titanic ran into. I don't know why lettuce was my first go-to. It
That's
should have
great.
been the big thing that the Titanic ran into, but yeah.
Yeah, he yells, iceberg, dead ahead.
Yeah. He ain't never seen the movie. He don't know that. Yeah.
I think everybody
Everyone
knows
knows.
the Titanic hit an iceberg.
You'd like to think so.
I think the majority of people.
If that's really what happened.
Right. It was a torpedo.
I wonder if you surveyed people, would they know that iceberg is a type of lettuce, or would they know the Titanic hit an iceberg? I think most people would know the Titanic hit an iceberg over it's a type of lettuce.
You're probably right. The
Ooh.
iceberg or the Titanic hit some lettuce.
Right.
Yes. Yes, it did.
Romaine, dead ahead.
Right.
All right.
Greenleaf, watch out. Spring mix, get ahead. All right, the record now, Gimpy.
Well, that puts me to my goal of 16, keeps Lindsay at 13, keeps you at 10.
Take a break and we'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show is coming right back.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Had to rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
And
I
then you
took the
came
call
back.
took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. And the 9th time was finally the draw.
For him I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times, do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it wasn't.
Stupidity.
No, it wasn't, though.
No. It was not my fault, but I mean, I kept going back,
No, it's
so
your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity trying to think I can change someone.
Right. Hope. Well, it was hope. You were hoping.
Mhm.
You were hoping he'd
Well,
look
yeah.
at her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Brandon, have a great day, man.
You too.
All right, see you later.
These texts are
Scott is on. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
You know, let's be real. I love some of the comments, and you guys especially, but let's be real. You're not going to be able to give her a hall pass because we as men are never going to forget that. We're never going to stop dwelling on it. And, you know, we're going to be the demise of that at that point. I think there's only one way to really do it. Either walk away because you can't tell me guilt took over after. You were enjoying it then. You went out for that purpose to go meet somebody. So either open this up to an open relationship, ask her, hey, do you want an open relationship, or walk away now, brother, because you lost it.
Let me ask you, Scott, what would be an argument they would have had that would have not justified him cheating, but going out and being completely reckless? Like what's something?
She would have had to cheat. I mean, the only way I'm ever going to cheat is she walks to me and says she just cheated. I'm walking out. I'm going to get me some, and I'm done with this relationship.
But then, I mean, you're
I
not
mean, let's
really
be real
cheating
as
at
a
that
man.
point, are you, Scott? You're not.
Well,
Mhm.
you know, until that divorce, I get it. But there's no hall pass or dinner or vacation. I agree with her vacation. That means she's not going to forget that. I don't care if 5 years down the road, that's going to be in every argument you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well either walk away or open this thing up and let's become swingers.
Just walk up to her with a
Let's be real.
pineapple in hand.
Right on, man.
Upside down it, baby.
All right, Scott, have a great day, friend.
You too, guys.
All right, see you later.
Got a great idea to fix the situation.
Fruit. I hear that, like, well, if she cheats, I'm going out right and cheating, and cheating right away. It's gonna be like the movie Hall Pass. I'm going to Applebee's and having wings and going to bed at 9. Like,
Yeah.
Right, because that's our routine now.
No,
That's where we're at.
no, I'm don't have the game. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like I'm turning down women every time I go out the door.
You go to the bar, you wait till about 1:45ish.
Oh,
You find the biggest woman with the least amount of teeth in her face, and you say, you're coming with me.
I gotta be honest. If I'm cheating as revenge, it ain't just gonna be on crumbs. Listener email, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years
Homeless
because
people eat out of garbage cans,
I
Corbin.
made a
You
stupid
better
mistake
get users.
and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, and slept with some woman. Almost immediately, the guilt took over me. She's told me it's over. But I have to try. What can I do to get her or to give our marriage a second chance? Lindsay.
Okay, so he already did the most awful thing he could have done, and that was cheat. But he was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage, if she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do. Honestly, just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's gonna be mad AF for a long time, and you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with being boring. There's not gonna be any time going out with the boys or going out doing what else, And if you can't handle that, then you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball and I'm going to go home and then I'll come back and play the game another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's nothing really you can do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry. I have no gimmick for you that will work. You tell her you want it to work. You made a giant mistake and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that. You got your answer. It's pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
You have to eat your S sandwich. And when you go on and date in the future and be asked what happened with your marriage, you got to be honest. You est the bed royally. And so either you tell her what you want and hope she appeases you, but why beg someone to be with you? The Huffington Post has a list of the rudest things to avoid when you're visiting someone's home, like things you shouldn't do, right?
Okay.
Touching or moving things.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so like I'm guilty of this though. Like if a picture
I'm shocked.
If a picture is crooked hanging on the wall, I'll straighten it.
Why?
No.
Why? It's not yours.
Exactly.
Nope.
Because I'm sure that it wasn't supposed to be crooked.
You don't know that. Some people like things off kilter like that.
I'll even mention it. I'm gonna fix that.
Oh, that's rude. That's like, like the cliche of like a mom coming in like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh, yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I love snooping around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if your bedrooms aren't clean or the bathroom's not clean?
Then they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Susan, they shouldn't be having company over if that's the case. Bedroom, maybe. Right. Bathrooms, though, clean that ass up if you're having company come over.
Another one, overstaying your welcome.
Right.
How long? What's the good amount of time to stay at someone's house?
Depends on what the activity is.
Yeah,
Let's say dinner.
Oh, okay.
couple hours.
2 hours after dinner. After 2 hours.
So you show up at 6, 8, get out.
Mm-hmm. Because now it's time for the family to wind down.
Yeah.
And start doing their own nightly routine.
And I think it depends on who it is too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you always know, I think, depending on which friend it is.
Snooping.
Oof.
Yeah.
Opening the cabinet
Yeah, you
to
don't
look
do
through the
that.
medicine cabinet. You feel like you give the vibe that you do that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, it's not an insult. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it gives a vibe.
Why? What gives
Because you're
you that
nosy.
vibe?
You're very nosy.
What makes me nosy?
Well, you'll walk into a room when a conversation's happening going, wait, what are we talking about?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You love knowing other people's gossip?
Yeah. I'll watch those gossip shows.
No, I'm talking
they're
like
there
personal
for.
gossip. I'm not talking about TV shows.
Yeah, if we're here, I don't want to miss out on anything, for sure.
Yeah, that's nosy.
Yeah.
Bringing an uninvited +1.
Yeah. Because now you're forcing the other people to like entertain somebody they don't know. It just makes
Right.
everything.
Or don't like.
Exactly. And it's not your place to be inviting somebody else over.
Feeding their dog.
Huh? Oh, like table scraps or something?
I think that's what they mean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you'd be like, where's your chow chow so I can put it in the bowl? Yeah. Some people do that. Some people think that because they feed their dogs table scraps or popcorn or whatever, that they can do that with your dog.
That's good that your dog's stomach has adapted to that. But now you're going to make your friend's dog crap all over their house because it's not used to that.
Showing up empty-handed.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No.
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
Yeah. I always take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Always.
All right. I usually got my medicine on me, so that just works out perfectly.
Yeah, but that's not extra, right? Like you said, it's like offering him a cigarette.
Right. I don't have to share with you, though. That's the thing. I don't have to.
Yes, but you're not going out of your way is the point, right?
Listen, I'm the guy that goes to Walmart and gets the cookies for the potluck that we're having here at work, okay? Do you expect more from me?
Yeah, I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still, you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
Even
my
a
appetite.
dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No.
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and have dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so. Hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side item. We'll get the main course. That happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. All right, cool. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house and like looked around and said to myself, that's so dirty here.
Oh.
Ugh.
Wow.
What, do they have lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets, they didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that.
Oh, I bet you have.
Look down my
No.
nose at you.
Because life happens.
Depends on the level of the filth, right? If you walk into somebody's house,
If you're
and
a
it looks
hoarder?
like hoarders, yeah.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's see what Gimpy has in his 4x4.
Well, Corbett, it says here that the Senate GOP blocks assault weapons ban. A motion was put forward yesterday by Senate Majority Leader Chucky Schumer that would have reauthorized the assault weapons ban that was passed in 1994 and expired 10 years later. Republican Senator John Barrasso blocked the motion and argued the bill would label responsible gun owners as criminals. The motion comes as the U.S. recorded the highest number of mass shootings for the second year in a row. The motion came the same day as at least 3 people were killed in a shooting at the University of Nevada in Las Vegas. The Pentagon has grounded the Ospreys. This comes a week after 8 Air Force Special Operations Command service members died in a crash off the coast of Japan. Besides the Air Force, the Navy and Marine Corps are taking steps of grounding nearly 500 aircraft after a preliminary investigation of last week's crash indicated a material failure and not a mistake by the crew that led to the deaths. JB's approval ratings are stuck near record lows. According to Reuters and various other polls, it's been lingering around 40%. That's compared to 39% in November. Americans say the economy, crime, and immigration are the biggest problems that they face in these new polls. And then lastly here, T-Town's TNR is using granted funds to provide free spay and neuter services for owned cats here in Tulsa. So if you own a kitty that ain't been fixed yet, here's your chance. T-Town TNR, a nonprofit organization, was granted funds by the city of Tulsa from the American Rescue Plan Act, which is a federal post-COVID relief program. The organization is using those funds to provide free spay and neuter services to own cats in the area where T-Town TNR has projects aiding in Tulsa's overpopulation issues with the pussies. T-Town TNR will also vaccinate, microchip, and provide essential medication intervention for approximately 240 cats. Now through August, to qualify for the services, email fixmycat918@gmail.com.
Like Bob Barker said, get those kitties taken care of.
By golly.
I'm paraphrasing, but something along those lines.
As the investigation into Von Miller and the alleged assault on a pregnant woman plays out, the Buffalo Bills say their star linebacker is at the team's facility and available to play this Sunday. Bills general manager Brandon Beane said, "We're not the investigators. We weren't there." Beane says Miller has expressed his version of what happened during the incident, which the team can't get into at this time. However, Beane says it's an open investigation. They'll let the legal process play out, and Miller will participate like normal in practice. The star NFL linebacker is accused of assaulting his pregnant girlfriend at their high-rise apartment in Dallas last week. Police officials confirmed that a warrant for a third-degree felony charge of assaulting his pregnant girlfriend had been issued. Officers learned that Miller and the alleged victim were in an argument when Miller allegedly assaulted her. The arrest warrant said police learned that Miller and his girlfriend were arguing in their bedroom because she didn't want to travel on her birthday this week. The affidavit said the alleged victim went from the bedroom to the office of the home and slammed the door out of anger. Miller then became visibly angry. He went into the office and yelled at his girlfriend to get out of the apartment. The affidavit said the girlfriend attempted to comply with his request to leave the home, but wanted to gather some items before leaving. As she did this, he began to shove and push her, all while telling her to leave from the unit. Then Von Miller then began trying to film his girlfriend on his phone, all while continuing to push and shove her out of the home. The girlfriend kept yelling, "Stop, I'm pregnant." But Miller allegedly kept pushing her, then began applying pressure around her neck for 3 to 5 seconds before letting go. Then she tried gathering her belongings. He grabbed her phone, threw her laptop on the floor, stomped on it.
Damn.
Then pulled her by her hair, ultimately pulling a chunk of hair out of her head, causing her to fall to the ground. And at this point, the girlfriend began filming the incident on her phone, on her own phone, then put it in her pocket. And then he again pushed her onto the couch, again placing pressure around her neck with both of his hands. The girlfriend then got up, told Miller she was going to call the police, and at that point, Miller left the home. And that's later then he was arrested.
Apparently, part of the 911 call, you can hear her saying, "He pulled my hair out. I have blood on me." and she was yelling, "Stop! I'm pregnant." She also told authorities that he applied pressure to her neck for 3 to 5 seconds before letting go, and pulled her hair by ultimately pulling out a chunk of her hair, causing her to fall to the ground. And then she said, "Nobody assaulted anyone."
Huh.
That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
It might, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen, because many times people that are victims of domestic violence take it back.
Right.
Right, because they
So
don't
get
want the other
scared.
person to get in trouble. I love him.
Yeah. For me, the problem with this story is the Chiefs have a wide receiver named Justin Ross who got yoked up for dragging his girlfriend through the hallway. And so they put him to the side and went on the commissioner's list, ineligible to play. And those charges have been dropped. He's still on the commissioner's list for not ineligible to play, but Von Miller can play this weekend against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fair. It's not cool. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original.
I was going. Yeah. I want see if it tastes like shrimp.
Yeah, Flamingo or
That's
Roadrunner,
true.
one of the two.
Yeah, why not? That sounds fine. Penguin. I'm down for some penguin.
Oh, yeah. Some fricassee penguin.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about getting, it's cold. It's right there on the ice.
Right.
Who doesn't? Some good penguin. Yum. I'm going to name some dishes. You give me a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome
Okay.
and 0 being pass.
Okay.
Okay? Lindsay, you're in on this too.
Okay.
10 being
Let's
awesome,
start
0
let's
being
start
awesome.
basic,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Spaghetti. Lindsay?
Oh, 10.
Okay. Gimpy.
3.
Okay. Fettuccine Alfredo. You can
10.
You can say 10.
Could I say 11?
Gimpy?
Oh.
What kind? Is it seafood or is it chicken?
This is just the cheese. This is
Just
no
the
chicken,
sauce
no
and noodles?
Yeah.
0.
Okay. Manicotti. So manicotti, for those who don't know, it's a ricotta. Mostly the time it's a ricotta-based filled noodle.
Big ol' honking noodle too.
It's a 6 for me.
Okay.
That's a 0 for me, dog.
Okay. Stuffed shells.
6.
Okay. Gimpy.
2. 2,
Wow.
if that. I'm struggling for her too, bro.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Lasagna.
3.
Wow. Gimpy.
Who's making it?
Whoever your favorites is.
It's even my ma's lasagna. That would rank like a 2 or 3 for me, and that's because it's mom's. So lasagna, just in general,
Yeah.
that's a 1.
Chicken Parmesan. Chicken Parmigiana.
9.
Never had it.
What?
Crazy.
It feels crazy.
Yeah. So that's going to be a 0 for me, dog.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Chicken. Oh my gosh.
Is it the eggplant and the?
Nope.
That one's good too.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
All right. Chicken piccata. Chicken piccata is the lemon chicken. I know. It's lemon.
Yeah, 7.
That's 0.
Oh my God.
Like we went to that fancy Italian place for the boss what was that last week, his lunch or whatever. And I'm looking at the menu, I was like,
Mondo's great Italian restaurant.
Mondo's, I respect them and what they do. It's just Italian is not for me. I'm like, I don't know what to get. Everything on the menu had either mushrooms or lemon on it. And I was just like, what's this stuff with the shrimp? Sounds good. I'll eat the shrimp over the noodles, which is exactly what I did.
I mean, I wanted to see. All right, so let's just go with a couple things here because I'm trying to find fried mozzarella.
I mean, that's just deep
10.
fried cheese. But even then, I want to give it like a 4.
Calamari.
10.
Calamari. I'll go ahead and give that like maybe a 6 or something because I've had calamari at other places that's not Italian food.
Bruschetta or bruschetta.
10.
Was that the fancy bread?
It's most of the time it's toasted little pieces of bread with tomatoes and olive oil and balsamic and basil and
Yes,
stuff.
the extremely stale bread that you chip a tooth on every time you eat it. That's a 0.
Let's see. Let's get spaghetti and meatball ravioli.
Lindsay?
6.
Only if it's Chef Boyardee. Which actually his name was Chef Boyardee, but we had to Americanize it by saying
Give me your rating, Mr. Wikipedia.
1,
Tortellini,
4.
2.
peppers and onions.
That's it. Like no sausage to put them on,
It's
or
sausage,
anything?
peppers, and onions. It's typically
Like a
4.
bun, you know? I mean, I guess with the sausage, peppers, and onions, I give it like a 3, 4, maybe even.
fettuccine carbonara,
What's the carbonara part?
bacon.
Oh.
That's a 5.
What?
1.
Eggplant parmigiana,
Yeah, that's 8.
That's a big 0 for me, homie.
meatball sub,
Oh, God.
5.
This is getting worse and worse the further we go down. 0, man. That stuff is too messy. It doesn't eat well. You have to have a fork to eat a sandwich. I think that's retarded.
Oh, I like it. Gnocchi.
What? Huh? Oh, okay. I've had that come in like a Hello Fresh or something like that once. And I was like, what is this? What is this garbage?
Oh, you didn't enjoy it?
Lindsay.
5.
0.
Oh my gosh.
I know it sounds crazy, but like when it comes to like the Big 10 of restaurants and foods and stuff, Italian's at the bottom of that list for me, man.
Somebody texted in and said, you think Zio's is delicious? You got to try Luigi's and Skytook. So authentic. I think it's run by the actual Italian mob. I've had Luigi's and Skytook. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I like, it's not like I go to Zio's and I order one of everything.
Right.
I worked there after college,
Mm-hmm.
and their 5 cheese pasta, adding chicken to it was so good.
Yeah.
Their spinach artichoke dip, which isn't Italian, whatever, but it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The
you can
cannoli,
draw.
yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli, with the Alfredo and the chicken stuff, so good there.
I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
That's the only Italian food that I really, 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 really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one. Pizza.
I've said it before, and you all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza.
It's a
That's
10.
going to be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
Really?
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Well, Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice short
food.
short rib braised ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in a jar.
So it's just no. So good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. See, now that's a headline. This happens in Maryland.
Hats off for the rhyme.
Yeah, right. See, that was
a good headline.
You told me you just
Killing
pointed out a missed opportunity, and I was like, well, I got one too. So I changed it real quick.
I love it. Well done.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. What happened was this happens in Maryland, where police were sent to the home of a 71-year-old Margaret Craig for a welfare check. Margaret hadn't been heard or seen of from the last couple of days. All right. Well, for a couple of days, because they think that this all happened towards the end of May. So the police go over there and they do the welfare check, and that's when they can smell the decomposing body coming from a basement. Okay. So they go down there and they search, and that's where they found 3 different plastic bags with human remains in it, rotting away in the basement. So the story goes that Margaret accused her daughter, who is 44 years old, Candace Craig, of credit card fraud. So that led to an argument betwixt Margaret and Candace, which led to Margaret's death. Okay. So flash forward a little bit. They say that the 19-year-old daughter of Candace, a woman named Celia Hardy, found the body of Margaret in a plastic bin and then decided to help dismember and dispose of the body. They believe that the 2 women used a chainsaw to cut Granny's body up and then threw the body parts on a grill and a bonfire and attempts to burn and destroy the body parts. Either way, they searched the house. They say that the remains were so badly decomposed that you can't do a physical identification of the body. So they're hoping, and they're 98% sure that DNA testing is going to come back and say, yeah, this is definitely Margaret. Nonetheless, both women were arrested. Candace is being popped for murder, and then Celia has been arrested and being charged with accessory after the fact.
It's one thing to kill somebody, I think. I think it's a completely other to dismember them.
Yeah.
And another for it to be Mima.
Right. The human body contains a lot of blood, like more than I want to see at one point in time. So I feel as soon as you start hacking.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. All right. So 1 week from today, KMOD welcomes This Is Important Live. And if you've seen Workaholics and like it, you'll enjoy this. It's next Thursday at the Tulsa Theater. Sign up right now to win a pair of tickets, KMOD.com.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning, Corbin. OU basketball's back this weekend as the Sooners take on the Razorbacks at the BOK Center. They call it the Crimson and Cardinal Classic. Your tip-off starts at 3 p.m., but your pregame starts at 2:30, and you can stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Time for Conspiracy Theory Thursday. I've been trying to find ones that maybe we've never talked about or you might not be aware of because of, they happened a long time ago or they're just not as sexy as who shot JFK. So I have one on George Reeves, who played Superman in the 50s. And for those who don't know, this was a show that was really successful. And he decided he didn't want to do it anymore. He thought he was capable of some other things. So he stepped away from the Superman because he didn't want to be pigeonholed. I recently saw an interview with the guy who plays Dwight on The Office. And he says that he became really frustrated about playing Dwight, that he felt he was being pigeonholed and he didn't want to limit himself on what he could do in acting and didn't really like playing Dwight.
Right.
And now, upon reflection, he's like, it was some of the best acting ever.
Yeah.
I was a part of something so special and I didn't appreciate it when I was in it.
Yeah, you see him in other things, and that's all I see him as is Dwight Schrute. Typecasting. That guy, Herman Munster, was typecasted. Couldn't get any other roles at all whatsoever.
Played
except
pretty good
for
judge.
The judge
Yes.
and My Cousin Vinny's the only other thing he's ever been in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a real thing. I get why they don't want to be typecast.
But also, when you have that attitude, you fail to acknowledge what you're in, like what's happening.
Absolutely.
And that's what happened here with George Reeves when he was playing Superman. So he steps away and he decides to go on his own and doesn't have very much success and kind of spirals out of control. And one night he is having a party, if you will, at his house. Some people are over and he winds up dead at like 1:30, 2:30 in the morning. And the police labeled this a suicide. And so him and his fiance and some party guests were at home. And one of the fiance told police that she was in the living room with the guests at the time of the shooting. But according to other statements from people that were there, she was either inside the room with him or in the room next door to where he shot himself.
So she wasn't in the living room with the guests.
And according to this person who apparently wasn't even there, that he had told, another person had told some people that after the shot rang out, they were having drinks and just whatever. And that she came downstairs and said, tell them I was down here. Tell them I was down here.
Guilty.
There's some other questionable things that happened when George Reeves apparently shot himself. There were no fingerprints recovered from the gun.
Mhm.
There was no gunpowder residue on Reeves' hands. Now, some argue that that wasn't even really popular or a thing until after his death.
Right.
So I think you can take that off. The bullet that killed Reeves was recovered from the bedroom ceiling, and the spent shell casing was found under his body. 2 additional bullets were discovered embedded in the bedroom floor. All 3 bullets had been fired from the weapon found at his feet, though all witnesses agreed that they heard only 1 gunshot, and there was no sign of forced entry or other physical evidence that a second person was in the room. Despite the unanswered questions, his death was ruled a suicide based on witness statements and physical evidence at the scene in the autopsy report. In articles, the girlfriend attributed his death to depression caused by his, quote, failed career and inability to find more work. The report from the police department says Reeves was depressed because he couldn't get the sort of parts he wanted. Newspaper and wire services reported that the LAPD sergeant said that Miss Lemon blurted, "He's probably going to shoot himself." A noise was heard upstairs, and then she continued, "He's opening a drawer to get the gun." A shot was heard. Quote, "See, there, I told you so."
Wow.
Some of the controversy that's involved is that it wasn't a suicide. His mother tried to hire an attorney to change the cause of death. She filed a petition for a reinvestigation in the case as a homicide. The findings of a second autopsy conducted at the new attorney's request were the same as the first, except a series of bruises of unknown origin about the head and body were found. A month later, having uncovered no evidence contradicting the official finding, the attorney announced he was satisfied that the gunshot wound had been self-inflicted, and then he withdrew. 2 actors that were friends were skeptical of the official determination, saying that no one in Hollywood believed the suicide story. There's a book called Hollywood Kryptonite, and in the book, they make a case for the involvement of the MGM vice president and fixer, Eddie Mannix, who apparently George Reeves had been having an affair with his wife.
Uh-oh.
Others suggested that that guy had mafia ties and that he had ordered his killing. So and there's apparently a Ben Affleck movie about this, where he plays one of the investigators.
Well, that's fun.
And they explore 3 different things. Back then, the movie industry was kind of the Wild West. There wasn't some of the stipulations that there are now.
Right.
Wizard of Oz is probably one of those books that stories that if you read about the making of that movie, just the craziness that was surrounding making that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And actors were persona non gratas if they went against the system.
Right. You'll never work in this town again.
And fixers were a thing.
Mm.
And for those who know, a fixer is someone who's like, if you're familiar with the movie Pulp Fiction, The Wolf, like it's somebody who can make problems go away.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Donovan.
Ray Donovan, fantastic television show on Showtime.
Yeah.
Where Liev Schreiber plays a fixer in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And he fixes problems for people, some good, some bad. And he makes things go away. And it messes with his head.
I never thought that was an actual real thing.
I thought it was I think I thought it was with like the mafia.
Okay, yeah. But not Hollywood. But if you think about it, Hollywood, giant mafia, could be.
I think anytime you have a lot of money
Mm-hmm.
involved in something, people will go to extreme lengths to protect it.
That makes sense.
There's a quote, absolute corruption corrupts.
Okay.
Absolute control corrupts. So like the idea of that, like if you're in control, you'll do anything you can to keep it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You'll make up stuff.
Right.
To keep control.
Right.
You will sacrifice people to keep control.
Keep that power.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary when people want to try and keep control and won't step away. Right?
Yeah.
And if you're the head of a movie studio or you are a guy who fixes problems, you know your skill set,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody tries to get with your girl.
Well, you're going to fix that problem, aren't you?
For sure.
You're going to be like, no,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in control. Hey, man, if she wants to leave, let her leave.
Mhm.
Nope.
Nope.
I'm going to kill him.
Nope. If nobody can have her, I can't have her. Nobody can.
Right.
I don't think the wife of George Reeves or fiance, who was not the girlfriend of this movie studio exec, I don't think she played a part.
You don't think so?
I think she was a bad person.
Okay.
But there are plenty of people who are involved in toxic situations and say backhanded comments. I believe she said those things.
Right.
I believe she said, oh, he's going to go kill himself. It is weird to be at a party and then go up and just pop yourself.
Yeah. And then for her to come down and say, hey, tell him I was down here.
If that happened.
Right, right. Because it's a whole bunch of hearsay. He said, she said. Yeah. And one of the guys wasn't even there.
The guy that said that she said that wasn't there. Yeah.
Doing the show for as long as I've done it, the number of stories I hear about things that have happened that people give a ton of merit to, it's always somebody of somebody.
Right.
Rarely do we get the actual information from a witness. Well, I know a guy. I have a friend. He got a bunch of crypto money. He's rolling in it. He bought a second house. Really? Right? That type of thing. So I'm with you. Like the hearsay things, I don't really go with.
I've never heard of his fiance, this Lenora Lemon. So I Google image searcher just to see what kind of broads is this.
What kind of dame we talking about?
Yeah, what kind of dame is he pulling? And she looks like a bitch. You just look at her face and you're like, she looks angry and bitter. And I could totally, as you're sitting here telling me about all this, I could totally see her doing something nefarious for sure. For sure. She just got that look in her face. And even the pictures, like if you Google image, got a lot of them when she's young. And then there's one when she's a little bit older. And she got this just this look on her face like, like, okay, I think you had something to do with it, Lenora.
But also, people back then had a certain look, especially like photos for, she's got a resting bitch face, doesn't she?
Right.
I tried.
Right. Every picture you see of her, not many smiling. She just looks angry. Like, she was supposed to be the star and George is taking her, all the spotlight.
Was she an actress too?
I think so.
Have you ever seen the movie Revolutionary Road with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet and Kathy Bates and Catherine Hahn and David Harbour?
I remember that film.
I think this is a fantastic movie. I think it's a better duo, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet duo than in Titanic.
Okay.
In the movie, Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet are married. And it takes place in the 50s, and they're not happy. They're just kind of acting married.
Right. Going through the motions.
Yeah. He cheats. She's looking for any type of connection. Right. And they just kind of live with each other. They're just not like, it's a really interesting eye set of how people lived their lives back then.
Yeah.
And in the movie, Michael Shannon, who is probably one of the more underappreciated actors out there.
Bro, yeah.
He's phenomenal. And in it, he plays Kathy Bates's kind of off-kilter, not all with it son.
Okay.
And he calls them out like, you're not happy. You guys aren't just blows up their marriage, essentially, right? Anyway, that is what I deem... That is what Lenore Lemon, I see her being like, just like, yeah, we're living together, so I'm miserable, therefore you will be miserable.
Okay, I could totally see that.
I'm not happy with who I am because of X, Y, Z. Also, George Reeves could have been that way too.
Absolutely. Was that old phrase, misery loves company?
Yeah.
So that very well could be. Yeah. Her pictures aren't helping her case any.
Said that she died drunk in 1989.
Yeah, but if she didn't play a part and her partner, fiance shoots himself feet from you, that's a trauma trigger. So it would absolutely spiral you into an addiction.
She was married twice.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people are married.
Yes.
Several times.
So this, you're going, so what? Why are we talking about Superman and maybe whether his fiance killed him or not, or was hit by a mob fixer or not? Because the number of actors that get killed is surprisingly high.
Right.
And there's no explanation as to why.
Mm-hmm.
And you just write it up to suicide.
Right.
So either suicide, super common, and we just don't talk about it because we put our heads in the sand about it, which is probably the more accurate statement, or they just off people for whatever reason.
I like leaning towards the latter half on that. If you think about it, you know, not everybody in Hollywood's died of a gunshot wound. Look at Heath Ledger, right? Quote unquote overdose.
Yeah.
You know how easy it would be to, you know, overdose somebody on some drugs. You know, you sneak it in.
It's cleaner than a gun.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then when it comes back as the toxicology or the autopsy, whatever, like, well, he had X amount of, we'll just say fentanyl in his system, just because that's the, you know, popular one, whatever. Oh, well, of course, he was a drug addict and overdosed, you know. Same way with that, who's that, Corey, what was his name from the Glee?
Oh.
Wrong Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monteith, I think is what his name is. Whatever, you know.
Weird. I did not have Gimpy will reference Glee on today's bingo card, but I'm glad. I'm surprised.
It just goes along with another one of those quote unquote Hollywood overdoses, you know, and I could totally see that, you know, in Hollywood, as big of an industry as it is, you pissed somebody off, you slept with somebody's woman or whatever, and then they come out and, you know, they drug you. And it just comes back as an overdose. Or in this case of George, he tired of his life, but so he shot himself.
Right. Maybe he really truly was depressed. And he set up a scenario of the type of movie or film he wanted to be in. So he planted, like, because there was other shell casings found, but there were no other bullets found in his.
You know, they found him in the floor. I said that.
Yeah, right. in the floor. Like, who shoots the floor? Like, why was there was no other person? They said there was no struggle. So maybe he set it all up. Like he did all of that.
Are you saying he was dramatic?
Yeah, like he set it up. Like, this is going to be a great movie someday, and though I won't star in it, it'll be about me.
So his whole ego gets checked in the final chapter.
Yeah,
I am buying that. I am buying all that. Somebody texted us, and I didn't even go to this, but this is a good take too. The real conspiracy is the tragic things that happened to Superman actors with Reeves in their name.
True statement.
There was no Christopher Reeves, who played Superman in the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Late 70s, early 80s. Fell off a horse and became a quadriplegic.
Right.
Yep.
And lived for quite some time until he eventually died. That could have been a fix there that gone wrong.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to get rid of him. And they're like, oh, crap. Well, listen, at least he's kind of a vegetable.
It's the curse of Superman. Who else played? Who's the other actor?
There was the guy that played it recently, that you see him on a lot of political talk shows.
Henry Cavill?
No. That's the actor that's going to play it in the movie, I believe, that's coming out. No, this was from the 90s.
Oh,
Lois and Clark.
Yeah. Oh, crap, you would ask me. There it went.
He does like Hallmark. Dean Cain.
Yes, he's been on the show before. Yeah.
Yeah, his career's kind of gone downhill.
I mean, to find downhill.
I don't know. He does like Lifetime now.
Okay, maybe but here's the thing. Maybe he's happy with that.
Maybe.
Right. Kevin Sorbo did the same thing as Hercules, right?
Killed it,
yeah. And then got out of that, kind of turned religious, and now he does those types of movies.
Could be happier than he was doing that.
Yeah.
That's that mistake that people make, that just because you're a celebrity, that's awesome.
Right. I'm sure there's a buttload of stress that goes with it.
Right. And you can't go grocery shopping. Right. So I'm just saying, like, it went downhill by what capacity? In doing film? Sure. But I don't know if his life went downhill. It's not like he shot himself, after a party upstairs or while it was going on.
During a party upstairs, yeah.
Not only that, but shot himself in a way that implicated potentially his fiance, which is a whole other thing, right?
Yeah.
The idea that let's just say he was depressed. Let's say he did kill himself. He killed himself in a manner that he implicated other people. that potentially people thought they were the killers.
And it's a possibility that he did that on purpose. Because, I mean, you've seen Lenora.
She looks pissed.
This
She does.
bitch. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm done. I'm out of here, and you're going to be done, too.
All right, we got to take a break. I've got some video I'm going to show you guys when we come back.
Tulsa's Morning Show continues next.
And I'm like, all right, that should be good enough, right? I'm not... THC absorbs in your fat cells. I'm not a heavy guy, so therefore I thought it would flush it out a lot, sooner. It wouldn't stick around in my body as long as it did. So a couple of weeks go by. I'm like, all right, bet I'm good. And I go down there and I take their whiz quiz, and it comes back. You tested positive for the marijuana,
And you hadn't smoked in how long?
It'd been a couple of weeks. I completely stopped.
It can hang. Hold on.
Mhm.
I thought that was like recent. I didn't think whiz was weeks.
No, it's the THC absorbs in your fat cells, so it stays in there for a while. And if you're a bigger, heavier dude and a heavy smoker, and that's another thing you got to think of, heavy smoker I was. But so therefore I thought, okay, a couple of weeks, I'm not a fat guy, I should be good, not taking into account the amount that I put into my body on a daily basis. Okay, so I failed that one, and they're like, all right, we'll give you another shot, but you got to wait for 6 months. You got
Wow.
to get the job.
to take another whiz quiz. So I was like, all right, fine.
6 months hardly makes sense.
That's what they told me. And I was like, bro, I really wanted this job,
So did you start the job and then in 6 months they tested you?
No, I couldn't get the job until they tested me, and I tested positive. So for 6 months, I go straight. I quit completely for those 6 months.
Impressive.
And I know.
Very
right?
much so.
And so I took my test, I passed it with flying colors, and then I started back up again. And I tell you what, it has not been the same since. The very first time I got roasted after not doing it for 6 months, I was like, it messed with my mind so much. I was like, this is not what I remember it being. Oh, it's because my tolerance dropped. I was like, well, I guess we're just going to have to build it back up. But you're talking, from 16 to 25, so 9 years of just steady smoking all day, every day. My tolerance was way up there, so I was like, I guess we'll have to start all over again.
Challenge accepted.
Yep.
I worked at The Edge, and the company that owned them in another market, they own a newspaper service, and the newspaper, one of the delivery guys that delivered the paper in the morning to, the stands or whatever, hit a kid and killed a kid, and they tested him, and he was high. So they were like, we're drug testing everyone. And so they instituted a drug policy where you had to do a random drug testing. I go to London to see Kings of Leon. And then when I come back, they call me into the office like right away.
Right.
And they're like, hey, and I was friends with the business manager. He's like, hey, you have 24 hours after I hand this to you to go take a drug test. Would you like me to hand it to you? And I was like, no. And he's like, all right, tomorrow morning I have to hand it to you. So whatever you need to get taken care of.
Right.
And so I went and bought like pea clean, like,
all the stuff,
broccoli, whatever, all the stupid stuff. And went and did the test. And when I did the test, they give you all these instructions, the thing, put it in there, don't flush, So I obviously have to pee like a crazy person. And because I've been holding it, and I go to the bathroom just like, oh, thank God, fill the cup and no problem. Done being a good boy, and I flush. And they're like, I go out, and she's like, did you just flush the toilet? And I'm like, yeah. Cup's in the thing. We're good. And she's like, no, you can't flush. So 1 hour. See you again. See you in an hour. And you're like, and if you didn't do the test, they fired you.
Oh.
And I was like, So I went and ate and panicked. Went back and did it again and was like, did not flush. Like she even put a note on the thing. Don't flush.
Did she say like it happens?
No.
Or was she mean about it?
No, she wasn't mean about it, but she also wasn't empathetic.
Yeah.
Right.
She's there to do a job.
Right.
She's seen all the tricks. You go in there and you're peeing like you're running out of like you haven't peed in days.
Yeah.
He is well aware
Mhm.
that you're trying to not pass a test.
Uh-huh.
They're not stupid.
They've seen all the tricks.
Yes.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm. The question is, how many people lost their job there after that? Did anybody?
Good question.
No. No,
'Cause we're all Johnny Fever in this bitch.
of the places I've worked that have had drug policies,
Mhm.
I've never seen and alcohol.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody get fired.
Wow.
And I know that some people
Yeah.
So maybe there was an internal like, hey, you get a warning and
Right.
next time though.
We'll test you again.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
I don't know. Robber uses sledgehammer at a gas station. So police in Nashville have arrested a man after he heard Peter Gabriel's song. Good old Robbie Kelly heard that song, was like, that's a damn good idea. And he's charged with robbery. He was smashing the window of a gas station, climbed through a window to take cash and ciggies. He's in jail on $15,000 bond. Really just a reason to play Peter Gabriel.
Absolutely.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That song right there, when I was DJing at Rumors, the second swingers club that I was at, that was the boss's favorite. And I swear I would hear it at least 4 times a night. And I'm like, can I please stop playing Peter Gabriel?
Did he come over and be like, hey, man,
Where's my song?
play Sledgehammer?
Can
I want to hear.
You throw on some Sledgehammer for me? Sure thing, Bobby. Gotcha.
Right. I always love when there's like a DJ who's wiki spinning.
Mhm.
That is an art.
It is.
Yeah.
DJing and picking songs in a selected format to try and get people to dance on the dance floor or to create a certain energy in a room
Right.
is 100% an art.
Yeah.
And then you got someone coming over going, hey man, will you play the Macarena? And they're like, oh, because you don't want to say no, but you do.
I'll see what I can do for you.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll see what I can do for you. And then they're like, well, here's a crispy Lincoln for you. And I'm like, ugh, all right, fine. I'll pay your Macarena for $5.
$5 to have some.
$5.
That's so. That
Listen.
feels stupid to me.
Well, it's better than what some of the people do. They would pay nothing or $1 to play.
That feels $1 feels fair.
Maybe, but we live on tips. God damn it.
You made.
Not necessarily, but
Wait,
it
hold on,
helped out
Sonic
tremendously.
employee. What are you talking about?
I got my wages, yes, but the tips were always good and always appreciated.
Of course.
So here's the thing.
You said you made your living off tips, which implied you did not make a salary. You did not make money.
I mean, I did, but it helped add towards the living that I'm making these
Of
tips
course.
here.
Like we should then get tips.
Shouldn't we though? I love it. No, we can't leave a jar out front. The hobos will take it.
What was the
Nonetheless.
biggest tip?
His
More
name
than he
was
can
Tony.
handle.
He was about 6'7", 450 pounds.
Biff.
Massive.
Biff, what is his name?
Right.
Tiny.
Ew. I think the biggest tip giggity that I got was, I think it was like a $20 bill. Yeah, it was a $20
For one song?
For one song.
Ugh.
Yeah, those drunk bitches, man. When they want to hear it, they'll pay for it. I'm like,
What's the
"All right."
most you hauled in a night, tip wise?
Tip wise is like $100.
Damn.
That ain't too awful.
not bad.
No.
And I don't have to split that with like, the other bar backs, bartenders,
Right.
waitresses, or whatever. That's all me. So that was
Would they split their tips with you?
No, hell no, never. But they had to split it amongst themselves
Sure.
or whatever. So I was total separate entity, got to keep everything.
I've never tipped a DJ ever. Well, I've told. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Coming up, we got our top list today. It's favorite things to do while high on the pot. We'll get to that. For this part of the Conspiracy Theory Thursday, I got some a little more traditional. I posted the video on our Facebook page if you want. I just sent it to you guys. A man was having his chickens harassed in California, in Clovis, California, and he decided he would put up a camera. He did. He caught Chupacabra on video. It's very clear video, right?
Sure enough.
And so for those that don't know, Chupacabra is an elusive animal that attacks and it's got teeth and all these things, right? Mexican folklore, if you will.
Yeah.
And so this man got the video. He caught it, turned it over to authorities, I guess, to try and capture it, since he had evidence of it being there. A prominent researcher of animals said that this is not chupacabra, and that chupacabra is not a thing, and that this is a wolf with mange, and that is a common thing that happens, that people mistake chupacabra for being, and that this is a very malnourished wolf who his hair's all messed up, and mange is a disease that happens in wild animals, and that's what this is, and they shouldn't be approached and left alone, and then some other group of people's like, we want to find this animal and help it live its best life possible, which I don't know if I'm a fan of. Let nature take its course.
Right. Then this animal, for one, I mean,
they're great photos.
Yeah, great. Crystal clear. Fantastic. But it doesn't really have wolf. I mean, it looks like a dog. Faux show, look like a dog.
Well, wolves are canines.
Wolves are type of a dog. Yes, this I know. Google image wolves with mange. You will see a huge difference. Even just in the structure of their head. Okay. And I'm not saying that this is chupacabra for sure. Absolutely. But I don't think it's a wolf.
So when you Google wolves with mange, the first one in the top left is walking like that dog. The one in the bottom left has sort of that makeup head-wise. The ears are a little more different. But if you're suffering from extreme, that's pretty close. To me, it's not as dramatically off as you would think.
Okay.
If it's an extreme case and you're dealing with maybe something else, sure.
Right.
I don't know enough about mange.
Right.
I know those things exist. I know wolves exist. I know mange exists. I have no evidence of chupacabra.
Yeah.
Looks more like a coyote.
That's what I was thinking. Or, some other domesticated dog.
Or maybe a mutt.
Okay.
A coyote and wolf mix, maybe.
Wolves are huge, massive dogs.
Right.
And this in the picture is not big at all.
Maybe I missed my notes wrong. Like I wrote down wolf when it should have been coyote.
I could, very well could be. Or, maybe the people they sent it off to was wrong. But either way, that ain't no wolf. And you said this comes out of what, California,
yeah.
Right? Are wolves known to live in California?
Well, I mean, there's mountains.
Yeah.
I guess you're right.
The idea of apparently 9 times out of 10, when there is a report of a chupacabra and they do the investigation, it is a wolf coyote with mange.
Some kind of dog with mange. Yeah. I get it. Mange is nasty, man.
To me, when you go back to these stories and how colorful they are, it's almost equal to like the Salem witch trials.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? Those stories are such over the top embellished stories. The Salem witch trials, if I remember right, like they only actually arrested like 2 women. No one was ever set on fire. Right? Those stories are just so over the top embellished. And when your grandparents tell stories, the elders, if you will, tell stories, they just get over embellished.
Right.
And so the chupacabra could be that.
Could just be a mangy dog.
And is it just me, or do these pictures almost look like paintings?
So far as like of the chupacabra one?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe not so much paintings, but like this is an artist that sculpted this or whatever, put it together,
Yeah.
and then placed it in the corner of this, backyard underneath the tree. And it's like, oh yeah, totally.
I think it's fair to anytime they're like, I caught video and then you see still images to go,
Yeah.
it should be a red flag.
I was hoping there was actual video because you said, oh, we got good, clear video.
It just,
ain't no damn video. But.
Yeah. Especially the extreme close up of him. It almost looks like an illustration.
Well, when you have to zoom in on video, though, it pixelates out.
True. I was going to say, are you getting close to this thing? You find this in your backyard. Are you getting close to it?
Hell no. I was changing the Christmas lights out yesterday that freaking squirrel ate, and I found some of the wire stuck in a bush, and I was like, if this squirrel jumps out at me, I'm going to lose my mind.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
crap your pants and fall off a ladder, change the course of your life.
When I went to go do that yesterday, my wife said something to me very fascinating. She goes, hey, if it doesn't feel safe, don't do it. And I went, why are you telling me that now? We've been together for over a decade. You've never said that. She goes, well, you fell through the attic. I go, I understand that, but did you think I didn't feel safe then?
Right. Accidents happen.
Yeah.
That's why they call them accidents, not purposeful.
Yeah. If anything, you should tell me if it doesn't feel safe, do it.
Right.
Tell me to do the opposite of what I was doing.
If you feel completely confident, just stop what you're doing.
Yeah. Fair, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a better thing to say than like, hey, if it feels dangerous. And her heart was in the right place, of course.
Yeah.
But it's like, what do you think I was doing? That's like, hey, be careful driving to work. Okay, this time.
Yeah.
Or people are like, hey, you were funny today on the show. Oh, yeah?
Yeah. What about
Thanks.
all the other days? Yeah.
The other days we sucked, huh?
People like drive safe. I'm like, no, I'm going to be as reckless as possible.
Yes. Yes. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show is coming.
Fun are those, huh?
Yeah.
So they weren't too far off. Now, here's the problem with a thread like this.
Mhm.
Where's the ones that were way off?
Right, of course.
Right?
Of course. But they don't want those. Those aren't as interesting.
And they're only showing by 2023. I can't cite what year that came out of.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just whatever the thread. Again, anything on the internet, man, you might as well just go with not true.
Right.
You're like, that might be true. Probably not. Might
Mhm.
be. Right? I was in a little Twitter conversation with somebody about the Twitter files.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's definitely some corruption being illustrated in those files. But one, Elon Musk picked which articles to release.
Mhm.
Two, picked the reporters to have go through them and release them. And he's hardly the most honest individual. And corruption, being in corporate America, is hardly a gotcha moment.
Right. Kind of been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
Rugby player loses his favorite testicle in freak accident. Jack Johnson is the guy's name.
Making banana pancakes.
Not to be confused with the singer. He's a rugby star with the Newcastle Thunder over in England, and he was violently, he violently lost something extremely close to him in what he calls a freak accident during training. His favorite testicle, which is the left one, reportedly exploded after taking a direct shot from a knee. It had to be removed.
This isn't the first time this has happened in rugby.
No, that's
It
a
happens a
violent
lot.
sport, man.
It happens. And I guess they don't wear cups or only pussies do, I guess. I don't know. So I do jiu-jitsu, right? And I wear a cup and I can tell it annoys some of the guys.
Why? Because when they kick you, it goes donk.
Yeah. Or like when you're changing positions that like there's a move where you put your knee into their stomach or on their sternum.
Yeah.
And that sometimes your foot will then hit their balls.
Yeah.
And I just don't want people's appendages on my balls.
Sure.
Sorry.
Makes sense.
But if I'm
Is
in
it
rugby,
ticklish or what?
but I gotta say, if there is a if there's a chance, if I did radio broadcasting and there was a chance I could rupture a testicle doing it, I'm wearing a cup to protect my balls.
Absolutely.
And these are ones of pros that this is happening to.
You have no use for yours right now at all whatsoever. I mean, the path has been blocked.
Yeah,
So,
I have
like,
had a vasectomy.
Yeah,
Yes.
the use for your boys is null right now.
Yeah.
But I get it.
No, it's
you kind of grown attached to them over the years.
It's the mental part.
Yeah.
Right.
If you have one less testicle, you're half a man,
That is true.
and you're gonna feel that way. It's been documented.
Well, some men feel that if they have a vasectomy, they feel like less of a man.
I've never felt that.
Well,
I got two reminders.
Right. I'm not saying that you do, but there's some guys out there that,
I've never heard anybody say that. Maybe they do, but I've never heard a guy say that.
well, fortunately for Jack Johnson, he kept his sense of humor. He says that the team season has been a testy one, and we've not been on the ball as we should have been. Yeah. Poor guy.
That's got to be painful.
I'm sure.
Imagine it does.
I'm sure.
Just getting grazed.
Oh yeah.
is a painful experience.
Yeah.
Let alone a rupture, a testicular rupture.
Yeah.
Band name.
Yeah.
Hello, we are testicular rupture.
Yeah.
It is a good band name.
A guy sprained my ankle, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I pull a muscle. I know. My rotator cuff. I can identify that. It's just painful. That's all I can identify.
That's it.
It's my testicle. It's painful. Full stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Nothing
Right?
more, nothing less.
Classic Eddie Murphy, man. Guys get hit in the balls if it's just you barely graze it. Guys will go, but did that just hit my
Is that like when you get it twisted, when one gets twisted?
Oh no,
it's a different thing.
That can happen while you're sleeping.
Yeah, that happened to a kid in school, in elementary school.
Yeah.
And he had to have it removed, I think.
It typically, if it can't be, which it's weird to say this with you're using a child reference, is it has to be massaged.
Oh.
And then, but a surgery sometimes is necessary to untie it.
Testicular torsion
Yeah.
occurs when the testicle rotates, twisting the spermatic cord that brings blood to the scrotum. The reduced blood flow causes sudden and often severe pain and swelling. Testicular torsion is most common between the ages 12 and 18, but can occur at any age, even before birth.
So like what happened is like a Karen went to God and was like, hey, this feels hardly fair.
Yeah.
Once a month I'm bleeding. I got to carry a kid and grow an organ inside me and then dispose of it. Can we even this out? And he's like, I could tie his balls in a knot for a 6-year period.
Right. Like you gotta give him something to worry about. Please.
I'm good. I'm good on all that.
Do you know anybody that's ever gotten that, Gimpy?
I do. My nephew, as a matter of fact, came out that way and had to have surgery to get it fixed.
Oh, out of the womb.
Yeah.
So they had to do surgery on a baby.
On a baby. They had to go
on a
cut
baby's
his little
balls.
baby balls open. Yeah.
Listen, they were already doing the top part, so
right.
Yeah.
Might as well.
He'll never remember it.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know?
Maybe deep seated down in there somewhere. Maybe some hypnotherapy can bring it back. I don't know. But yeah.
I mean,
bizarre.
I hear you, but psychologically, they say those type of things live with you.
Right.
That you may not remember it, but your brain does.
Yeah. It's stored in the memory bank somewhere deep inside.
Yeah. Much like they were like, nah, C-sections are fine. It doesn't affect the baby at all.
That explains what
It doesn't.
It absolutely does.
How?
They don't get the gut flora.
You know, that white
they don't
cheese that's
they don't
covered
get
over the baby.
the bacteria from your vagina.
Right.
Bad.
They don't.
I get that.
They don't. And so those babies tend to have more digestive problems.
Interesting.
Go down the rabbit hole. Nobody does more C-sections on the planet than America.
We're in a hurry. Turn and burn, man. Turn and burn.
I can't be inconvenienced. I got golf.
Right. Time at 4:00. Let's get that baby out of here. Co-pilot was visibly upset before leaving plane in midair. So this comes out of North Carolina, where there's these two dudes, a pilot and his co-pilot, a 23-year-old dude by the name of Charles Crooks. So these guys were running a skydiving operation, and they're in the plane, and they'd already dropped off and picked up 2 sets of people, and they're on their way to pick up the third one. Well, the co-pilot is actually the one that's operating the plane he at this point in time. So the co-pilot comes in for a landing, and it was a hard landing. Kaboom! Ended up breaking the landing gear.
Yeah, I remember the story.
Okay. Happened in late July. So the pilot takes the controls, tries to get it back up in the air, back up to 400 feet. Meanwhile, while the pilot is trying to get things under control, he tells old Chuck here, hey, why don't you get on the horn with air traffic control? Let them know, hey, we need to divert an emergency landing. Well, instead of doing that, Chuck opens up the window and then barfs out the side. Typical. Okay, the guy's shooken up a little
adrenaline
bit.
dump. Yeah,
absolutely. So the pilot's like, hey, bro, get it under control. Get these people, on the horn. We need to make a landing.
Get it together, man.
Yeah, instead, he decides to go ahead and lower the ramp from the back of the plane. And that's when old Chuck got up and then takes his headset off, starts walking to the back of the plane, apologizes, and jumps the hell out. Now, Chuck, the pilot did end up landing the plane in a field. Chuck was found in the back of somebody's backyard as a dismembered mess, and the incident is still under investigation.
Yeah. So, did he just go crazy in that moment?
I guess they said that he felt really bad for the hard landing, which I understand.
And the guilt just overtook him to just jump out of the plane?
Yeah, overtook him. Said that he was visibly upset and just said, you know what? F this. I'm out of here. And then there he goes.
Drugs.
Possibly.
Drugs feels like a better answer.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do you one better. Falling airplane part barely misses officer at Maine state capitol. So police officer's lucky to be alive after he was standing just a few feet when a 6 to 7 pound steel sleeve smashed into the ground outside the main entrance of the Capitol on Friday. An officer who works as a screener to the building. Yesterday, Lindsay mentioned the NCAA potentially changing the deal on how much players get paid or get money. And listen to this idea that has been floated for college athletes is when they do something good, regardless of the sport, basketball, shoot a hoop. Caitlin Clark just scored 3,000 points, more than any male or female has ever scored in college basketball. Still has the season.
Right, right.
So she'll push it way out of reach. Scores a touchdown, a hockey goal, backhands, or whatever.
Yeah.
You put their Venmo thing and you get to give them money.
Like as citizens, we get to pay them.
Like a tip.
Okay.
Why the scrunchy face, Lindsay?
No.
Why not?
Let the schools pay them.
But if they can't because of their amateur status, this could potentially be a workaround to avoid any type of school involvement.
Right.
The Jumbotron would flash the player's Venmo account on the screen. Fans could donate in real time, and the screen tracks and displays the total donations coming in live for everybody to see. Imagine if you're watching your team play and they kick the winning field goal, and then they put on the Jumbotron the Venmo of the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Boom, the kicker just gets a bunch of money. What I don't like is, what about the lineman who blocked the guy so that he could kick, right?
Fair for everybody. I get that. I read something. Oh, we don't really have time for it.
You can go real quick.
Okay, well, I read this thing in Forbes yesterday. I know, weird, Forbes, right?
Again, didn't have Gimpy reading Forbes on my bingo card. Sorry, go ahead.
But it's called the Brock Purdy rule. I don't know if you guys have heard about this or not. Brock Purdy makes what, like 800 and something?
He makes the league minimum, yes.
Absolutely. When he is like top of the line quarterback, and he just took on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles and stomped the ass out of them.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts makes $55 million a year.
Yeah.
All these other, Patrick Mahomes makes $50-something million a year. Meanwhile, you've got Brock Purdy, who is a stud and is on the same level as Hurts, as Mahomes, and all these other great quarterbacks, yet he's making the league minimum. So it's called the Brock Purdy rule. And what they want to do is like, all right, when you first start off at the minimum and then start giving them raises based on performance. Like Brock Purdy comes in at the minimum and then proves himself. Well, they should raise him up from $870,000 to $50 million like the rest of them, just to make the playing field even for everybody.
Yeah, but the playing field was even.
Was it?
Yeah, he was just picked last because he didn't have a good enough draft. And he wasn't good enough in the draft.
That's another thing.
So hold on. So they changed it to make it a little more level for all the rookies, right? So yes, Brock Purdy, he was last, so he didn't make as much as the number one pick,
right?
But he has an opportunity, just like everyone else, to make a bunch more. And when his contract comes up, especially if he wins MVP, he's going to get paid.
As he should.
Even though that's his league minimum, he's still making he's fine.
Right. But he's not $55 million guaranteed and then, on your endorsements as well.
No, but also Jalen Hurts, when you say he's down here, they're pretty equal.
So far as talent,
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And that's what I'm saying is like Jalen should not be getting all this money while you've got another
Sure,
step that's just as equal.
Well, that's a different
making
team.
less.
It's a different payer.
I get it.
So I listen, that's the rules of the game.
Mhm.
I'm not going to be like crying because one guy makes this much and another one makes that much at that level.
Mhm.
I think it's only fair. If you work your ass off from the bottom and make your way up to the top, you should be making top money.
And
Well,
he-
he's
when that
proving
time-
himself.
When that time comes, he will.
Yeah, I'm
Unless
sure
he gets
will.
hurt.
Right.
It's not instant because he could fall apart tomorrow.
Yeah. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste, 96 calories. More of the Big Man Morning Show is next.
Tulsa's Morning Show.
The suspense record.
That is a day spa.
Yes, you are correct. Poppy's is a day spa. 2-1 so far. Corbin's lead. OHG, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary.
That is correct. Tied
What'd
up.
you say?
OHG. That's all it is. These are all the ones. I just found them on Google.
Sure.
I just simply Googled day spa and then Googled dispensaries and then found a bunch of them that
Sure.
are really close.
I just
and
couldn't
could be
hear. I didn't
confused.
hear you
Yeah.
because you were going so fast. I didn't hear you. I didn't know it was
I wonder
letters.
what that stands for.
I have no idea. Nonetheless, moving forward, 918 Elevate, day spa or dispensary. 918 Elevate.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
Dispensary.
That is correct. Corbin's in the lead. 3-2. One Love Wellness, day spa.
Corbin.
You got to pick it up, Lindsay. Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, One Love Wellness is indeed a
Wow.
dispensary. Yes. Corbin killing it right now. Lotus Blossom,
Corbin.
day spa or dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
You are wrong, my friend.
You
Lotus-
might need to.
Lotus
Okay.
Blossom is a day spa. Go ahead, Google
I
it.
know there's a dispensary called Lotus.
There's one called Lotus Gold, not Lotus Blossom. See, and that's the fun part about this game because they can be
somatic,
they're
sure.
so close. All right, Indigo, day spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
That is a dispensary.
Indigo, Lindsay is a day
Yeah.
spa.
Oh,
So
bummer.
far, it's 4-2. Corbin's lead. Hand and Stone, day spa
Lindsay.
or dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
All right, Lindsay, you are correct on a comeback.
I've been there.
It's a 50-50 guess.
Right, of course. All right, Rosebuds, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
I'm going to go dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct. Rosebuds is a dispensary, tied up 4-4. Jade Wellness Center, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a wellness, or that is a day spa.
Corbin. Jade Wellness Center is a dispensary. Still tied 4-4. Deluxe, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin, you are incorrect. Deluxe is a dispensary. Nature's Kiss.
I think that's both, actually.
Who knows? This is just the information that
who
was
cares if it's
given.
accurate?
Yeah. All right, Nature's Kiss, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct, my friend. Corbin just made 5-4. Aqua Viva Oasis, day
Lindsay.
spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay is correct. All right, so we're tied up 5-5. Fig Medical, day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. Fig Medical is a day spa.
I was thinking because like sweets,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
like sometimes you know it smells like
You're
a fig.
thinking medical marijuana.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
All right. All right. Remember, this is for a big prize at the end of the
Sure.
at the end of the game here.
Sure.
You are going to love the prize that I have
Leftovers.
chosen for you.
Leftovers.
Right, it's a
Okay.
roach.
Right. Right.
Bong
And not
water.
the one you smoke.
It's the crumbs.
Laura Apothecary, day
Lindsay.
spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay is incorrect. The
Yeah, it's a
Laura
spa.
Apothecary is a day spa. Lucky Garden, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That's a dispensary.
Lucky Garden, Corbin is a day spa. So far, we got 6 to Corbin and 5 to Lindsay. The Health Center, day spa or
Oh,
dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct. You sound like you've been there before.
To me, the name was just so obvious. There's no
Right.
way you're going to call an actual spa that.
Right, the Health Center. Supreme Heights, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct. All right. So we're looking at 8-5, Lindsay.
Okay.
All right. We're down in the home stretch of this thing. All right. The Enchanted Cottage Day
Corbin.
Spa or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin is incorrect. That is a day spa.
Why are people calling here asking if we have weed?
Got any specials on an ounce, man?
It's called Enchanted.
Wildflower Day Spa
Corbin.
or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
That is incorrect, Corbin. Wildflower is a day spa. All right. Clover Patch Tulsa Day Spa or
Lindsay.
Dispensary. Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct.
What's the score?
6-8, Corbin's
Okay.
lead. All right. The Merry Mind Day Spa or
Lindsay.
Dispensary. Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay. The Merry Mind is a dispensary. All right. The Relax Station Day Spa
Corbin.
or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a spa.
That is correct. Corbin is up 9-6. Path to Wellness Day Spa or Dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay, Path to Wellness is a
Oh,
day
I'm
spa.
sorry. I thought you said packed.
Oh, yeah. Was that the
wellness.
problem?
No, I thought you said packed.
Sure, yes. Let me enunciate a little bit more, shall we? All right, let's see here. Heirloom Day Spa or Dispensary. Heirloom Day Spa or Dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin.
That's a dispensary.
Corbin, Heirloom is a day spa. You're still in the lead 9-6. He's okay. Tulsa Garden Day Spa or Dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay. Day
Spa.
spa or dispensary. The Tulsa Garden is a day spa. Good job, Lindsay.
Score.
Looking at 9-7, Corbin's lead. Bella Roma Medical Day Spa or Dispensary. Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin. Bella Roma Medical is a day spa. Stonebrook Day Spa or Dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Yes, you are correct, Lindsay. We are now 9-8, neck and neck. Who is going to win Day Spa or Dispensary and walk away with a big, big prize? Stone Age Meds Day Spa
Corbin.
or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. The Stone Age Meds is a dispensary. Uptown Wellness Day Spa or Dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. Uptown Wellness is a dispensary.
Really?
We only got 2 left here.
Okay.
All right. So we got a chance to tie it and a breaker if we can do this. All right. Pura Day Spa or
Corbin.
Dispensary. Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin is correct. Pura is a dispensary. Puts him with the win 10-8. I'll go ahead and give you the last one. See if you can guess it. Stonebrook Day Spa or Dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay would have been correct, which wouldn't matter because it's 10-9. Corbin is the big winner. Congratulations, Corbin.
What'd I get?
You want to know what you got?
Yeah.
My friend, I tell you, you have won my leftover potatoes. That's right, Corbin. I had dinner last night.
I love it. That's awesome, man. I'm actually kind of hungry, so I think that's a fantastic
This is
gift. And
perfect.
you're not a horrible cook.
No.
So that's great. But, I just think it's just an honor to win. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Lindsay. She put in a valiant effort.
Listen,
And,
Corbin,
I just appreciate the competitiveness. And, I'm just one guy on a team, and we're just a team trying to make the thing happen. And, it's an honor to be a part of the Ford Truck Series and anything I can do to make this Hilton Hotel team do the best I can.
Well, Corbin, I'm glad that you accepted and decided to give your prize of potatoes to the loser of the game, but that's not all that you're going to win. All right? So not only do you get my leftover dinner from last night, my potatoes and a little bit of steak with some cheese on top, I'm also going to hook you up with a 6-pack of Twisted Tea.
Oh.
Set right up front because nobody wants this. So
Yeah.
I grabbed a pack and you get
Yeah.
to take it home with
Again, you put
Twisted
zero
Tea.
effort into the prize.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just real grateful that this Hilton Honors team did the best they could and make sure part of the Ford Truck Series continues. So I'd like to give it to my second place. His second isn't winning. So
All right.
Twisted Tea is a great beer fridge for guests.
Right, right.
item.
Well, congratulations, Lindsay. You got yourself some old mushed potatoes and some warm Twisted Tea for losing on Day Spa or Dispensary.
a doll feels a little too childlike.
Right.
Any kind.
Yeah.
Right.
Any
I mean,
kind.
the obvious, the sex dolls would would
The
be
word doll
right.
is what negates it for me.
Well,
Right.
so toys, they have sex toys. Toys are for children.
No, they also have toys for adults.
Like
Drills,
Right.
big boy toys.
Big boy toys.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And for the big
Beach
girls,
toys.
Yeah. Okay.
Lake toys.
Okay.
Toys is synonymous across the board.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Dolls, 94% associated with children, specifically
Yes.
girls.
Okay.
So it's a little bizarre.
A little weird. To each is their own.
See,
I'm not going to spend $2,700 on one of those real live looking sex dolls. That's just for
I'll
me.
take the bait. How much would you spend?
Yeah.
What is your top out
My
on,
top out
on sex dolls?
if I was to purchase a sex doll, now obviously, yeah, you could go and get one of those $50 jobbies that they always look surprised or whatever. But I would like to have, if I was going to get one, it would be one of those real dolls, right? But I'm not. Maybe $1,000, maybe $1,000, and that's a lot. That's a lot,
right,
man.
Let me. I can speak gimpy. He is not saying he would spend $1,000 on it.
Right.
Okay.
He's saying gun to the head.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Absolutely.
I think if he were going to buy one, that would not be the price point he'd shop at. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Porn star Roxanne Ray is the dirty 30 today, and she gets pretty sloppy, and 4 men and a lady spin the bottle orgy and tattooed temptress. Her work in 4 men and a lady earned her a Best Gangbang nomination.
That's Ray with an E.
Yeah.
So we're playing along.
She got that nerdy look to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I don't mind it.
I mean, it feels forced.
A little bit.
Okay.
That's why I don't like it. Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning, Corbin. Don't forget, you can text your way to LA in the 2024 iHeartRadio Alter Ego concert. Listen for your keywords 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., and you could be a lucky winner.
On Thursdays at 9, we do our top list.
It's time for Big Man Morning Show's top list. Random topics, randomly drawn with random results. Now, here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with this week's top list.
This week's top list is favorite things to do while high on the pot.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboy Cup is going on this weekend over at the Expo at cowboycup.com. Lindsay, what's your favorite things to do while high on the pot?
Well, it's not much, but number 5 is snack on convenience store type foods or the fattier foods, like the air fryer foods.
Give me the convenience store foods you're
What are
targeting.
we talking about
chips and dips,
Get sexy on me. Come on.
candy bars, fruit snacks, like candy for sure. Sweet tarts, got to have something sweet. And then you have to have chocolate, either Twix bars, Kit Kats, or Snickers.
Let me change my question. What would you not eat when you're high on the pot?
A salad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Dude, the texture of a
definitely.
salad when you're high, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, the good crunch
Yeah.
of the iceberg lettuce. But no, I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to go for a salad.
Okay.
I'll definitely wait for like some Tostino pizza rolls to come out of the air fryer, maybe. But yeah, I'm not. Mozzarella sticks would be good, or those potato skins from Fridays that you can get from in the box.
Costco has these little pretzel bite things right now,
Mhm.
and the cheese in it, holy
Yeah.
S. So good.
Sounds good. Sounds
Mhm.
good. Number 4 for me is write. Pencil to pen.
Oh,
Pencil or
journal.
pen,
Okay.
write, journal, anything. Yeah. I feel like that's when I am
It's
the most
interesting.
creative.
I don't know if I could write fast enough.
Mhm.
Right, because all the thoughts that are rushing through your head.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that is when we are the most creative. And then number 3, sit and chill by
Sidebar, hold on. I want to go back to this. We found this out at the toy drive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You are quite the artist. I was impressed with how good of an artist you were.
Oh. Thanks.
And you weren't high, were you?
No.
Okay.
Or were you?
Maybe you were. I don't know. You definitely look disheveled. But like, so when you say creative, I'm surprised you haven't said draw. Like, right, okay,
Yeah.
but draw.
For sure.
If that's what comes to me. But yeah, normally that's more of a boredom thing. Is the drawing, and yeah. But writing, because I'll get ideas in my head. I got to write them down at that moment. Yeah. And 3 is sit and chill by the fire. There's one in the backyard, the built-in little
Like a fire pit or something?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And if I'm, with others, it's, just sit and chit chat and just by the fire, not doing anything.
If you're by yourself, do you just sit there and stare at the
yes,
flames?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Wonder, how hot is the center of that fire?
Important
Lost in
factor,
thought.
sit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No standing.
Yes, no standing.
Don't stand near it.
Yes. Number 2, either sit down and play the piano or just listen to music.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then number 1 on the list is sleep. Put me to sleep.
It seems like a waste of a buzz, if you ask me.
Oh, but sometimes that's what it's there for. Like, I need a good night's sleep, so I'm gonna just take a few hits and go to bed because I just need to sleep.
Okay. We're doing top list favorite things to do while high on the pot. Buckle in, Gimpy. What's number 5?
Number 5, playing video games. Believe it or not, that's one of my least favorite things to do. I like playing video games and I like smoking the pot. But if there's other things to do, I would much rather do that. I think it's mostly because I play video games all the time anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's one of those things. But I do like to do it. And there's times, there ain't nothing better than getting up on a Saturday morning. You make your coffee, you roll your fatty, a little wake and bake, and then Call of Duty for 12 hours after that. Or whatever. Sometimes I'll switch in and out of video games. But yeah, video games. Number 4, cook. Man,
That feels dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, it's the greatest.
No, I mean dangerous in terms of I would be eating.
Right. And that's the best part. You go get ripped, right? Go get lifted. You go in there, you start making dinner, you're tasting things, you got your mind going. Maybe you might want to stray away from the typical recipe and you're like, I want to try something different. Well, what happens if I put this seasoning in there, or mix this up? And then you come up with some pretty awesome creations or whatever. So, yeah, cooking. And it's like I said, it just lets your mind go. You sit back there and just, let it all go out. And you're just in there stirring and mixing and making. Yeah.
When you're stirring and trying new things, will you write it down?
Oh, no.
So you remember what you
no.
did?
Oh, no. I got a brain like a steel trap.
I would totally forget.
Back to the top 5 lies Gimpy will tell.
Bingo.
Right.
Number 3. Well, I accidentally erased it, but I didn't mean to. I was like, where was I at? All right. Number 3 recently is something that's recently come around. Go in there and jam on the drums, man. Just go in there, get ripped, and then piss off my neighbors. And I'm sure my roommate's in there trying to play video games, and all you hear is yeah.
Question,
Answer.
Do you play with any direction, i.e. you're trying to emulate a song, or are you just banging on the drums?
Not freestyle, man. Freestyle.
Okay.
I could try to pretend to play like my roommate to go in there and, play Metallica or whatever. Cool.
He can do that?
Yeah, you've been working
Okay.
on it. Yeah, but that's not for me. I just go in there and freestyle and make noise and do my own thing. I know how to play, so I can go with like a country sound if I want to, or maybe something a little more bluesy. And it's not like I'm in there just being Animal on the drums.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Animal from the Muppets.
Sure. What's the difference?
What do you mean? What's the difference?
What's the difference between freestyling and going, quote, Animal?
Animal's just in there banging anything and everything for just can. Freestyling is actually making sense of the noise that you're producing.
You're trying to do something.
Yeah, but it's not like a particular song. I'm not trying to do a Tool song. I'm not trying to do a George Strait song. It's just me in there being creative and using my own imagination. Yeah. Number 2 is go work on the bike. Any of them. Go out there, whether it's polishing chrome washing or, going and tinkering on one of the other ones that's not moving right now, pulling parts off of it or whatever, just going out there and just tinkering around, turning wrenches or whatever it is. And the number one is listen to music. Just sit back, put your earbuds in, or, you got your speakers, your Bluetooth, your stereo, whatever you're using, man. No TV, no nothing. It's not like it was back in my 20s or whatever. The black lights on and, we're listening to Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin or anything. But just sit back and chill, lay back on the bed, lay on the couch, and just let the music take me where it needs to go.
I was worried when we talked about this list how similar they would be, and they are not. Top list, favorite thing. There are some similarities, of course, but top list, favorite things to do while high on the pot. Somebody text in, Gimpy, needing your feedback on this. Gimpy, do you find your Saturday coffee and Fatty fighting each other?
No, not at all.
Number 5 for me, clean. My attention to detail is very focused. So if I'm high and I can be super focused and clean something I maybe don't want to clean, or I'll find it to be dirty when it's not.
They start tweaking on stuff.
We're not talking about cleaning the toilet, right? That's not what I'm talking about. So I can clean maybe I've got a pan that I make, cheese sticks on, and I'm like, this has never been cleaned. I got to clean it right this minute.
Right.
Number 4, eat a charcuterie board.
Oh.
The board itself?
Of course not.
Wow.
Of course not.
Splinters.
Sweaty meats and sweaty cheeses and breads and honeys and mustard and all that on a board. The combination and the puzzle I would feel like I'm trying to solve would keep me entertained for a while. The idea of this piece of bread and this raisin and some mustard dipped in honey. Okay.
Right.
That's number 4. Number 3, Gimpy said, what a waste of a good high, but sleep comes in at number 3 for me. It's not a waste of a good high. I see it as an opportunity that I can calm myself and quiet the committee meeting so I can rest.
Right.
Okay.
Rather than if I try to nap, I'm going to go, I got to go do this. And, the kids are in there or the TV's loud or I don't happen. It just puts me out. Number 2, watch a kidnapping documentary or series of 48 hours or of those that are all kidnappings because you sit there and try to figure out what's happening.
It was such a weird beginning, man. Kidnapping shows.
Yeah.
I like to watch kids get snatched.
It's crime, but the idea of watching, you're like, yep, that, don't trust that person.
It was the neighbor.
Yeah. I'll get sucked into them. And then number 1 that I can't believe it wasn't on either one of your guys' list, and that's sex. Having sex high is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. If you're someone who likes, I'm going to make this super clean, your shoulders rubbed during sex,
Right.
it will be the best shoulder rub you've ever had.
Explosive shoulder rubs.
Yes. My experience just for me. So that was the number 1 for me. Top 5, this text came in. Top 5 things I like to do while high on the pots. Shoot things. Oh.
Nice. Target practice, animals. Neighborhood children. Whatever.
Yeah. I just feel like in that moment, safety is something that I kind of, if it involves me having to have a safety officer involved, I don't want any of that going on while I'm high. For me, play video games, bang, cocaine, and number 1 is to come up with funny stuff or punny stuff, I guess. Favorite thing and is number 1, take a shower after smoking. Best feeling ever. Dude, showers after high are pretty awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
Forgot about that.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Not feeling that?
That's not for me.
I like to warm up honey buns in the microwave, then put Bluebell homemade vanilla on it. And I like to whoop it. Oh, masturbate, I guess.
Oh, God. At the same time?
Feels like a weird combo, but
Ew.
to each his own, JJ. Play-
hope you wash your hands before you eat the honey bun.
you use a fork to eat the honey bun.
Right. Well, while my hands are all sticky, might as well when in room.
Play Hungry Hungry Hippos with the wife or other adult friends. Dude, if I go over to a house and we're like hanging out, partying, and that gets pulled, they're like, hey, let's do this, whatever. And then they're like, you want to play Hungry Hungry Hippos? I would think it was a joke.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Sure, let's go see what you got in your fridge.
And also be
Right,
way into
exactly.
Right.
I will break a Hungry Hungry Hippo doing that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Lindsay smokes weed. Never heard her talked about it. She's occasionally talked about it.
Yeah.
Dabbled.
She dabbles.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a full timer.
No.
All right, we got to take a break, and we'll be back. Do that. I'm a family man. I would never do that. I'm a veteran. I would never do that. I'm a Christian. Like, settle.
People are people, man. People
Yes.
do crazy, stupid things.
Those behaviors or those traits hardly make you incapable of doing bad stuff, right?
Right. You can still be a good Christian person and be a douchebag.
Yes.
Texas woman attacked by snake and a hawk. There's this gal. She lives just outside of Beaumont. Her name's Peggy Jones. And Peggy's out there mowing her lawn last week on her rider, just minding her own business. And out of nowhere, the snake falls from the sky, lands on her, and then wraps itself around her arm, right?
Ooh.
So here's Peggy mowing her lawn on a hot Texas day with the snake around her arm. She's flailing it all over the place, trying to shake the snake off of her arm. Okay, that sucks. But then out of nowhere comes this hawk and swoops down on her and starts attacking the snake, trying to get the snake, right? So she says the snake swooped down on her like 4 times. Eventually, it ran off with the snake. It got the snake off of her arm and then flew off with its dinner. She said there was blood everywhere. She thought that she had been bitten. Her husband heard the commotion, comes out. Peggy, what the hell's going on? She told him what happened. He takes her to the ER. They treat her for the scratches and the bruises. Come to find out she wasn't bitten, but she did get close because she found some venom on the lens of her glasses.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But nonetheless, Peggy's fine. She was treated. She went back to the house, and she considers herself to be the luckiest person alive to have survived such an attack. Not the first time Peggy was bitten by a venomous snake, though. She says she was bitten a few years back as well.
But I bet it's the last time she mows the lawn instead of her husband doing it.
Or she doesn't have a husband because he
Right.
died suddenly.
Before the next lawn mowing?
Yeah,
Damn.
Crazy things happen.
Right.
Some women like mowing the lawn.
Yeah, I know. I enjoy it too. But man, if that happened to me, I'd be like, this is why you're supposed to be doing this, not me.
So put me in danger.
Right.
Yes.
She did say that her old man, when they got back to the house, she got back on the tractor, but he stayed close and kept an eye on.
Because
the
what's he gonna
skies.
Right.
Right.
Duck!
Right.
Stop.
See something flying, you just bat it out of the way.
No.
Wild brawl breaks out on dock among dozens of people. This happened out in Alabama on Saturday among dozens of people in a manic scene that mirrored a massive WWE fight, and it was all captured on video. Montgomery police have issued 4 active warrants as of Sunday, and more will likely follow as they review videos posted to X. Local NBC affiliates station WSFA reported about 7 p.m. on Saturday, a witness claimed that a group of boaters refused to move their pontoon boat so that the Harriet II riverboat could dock. The account was seemingly backed up by the Montgomery mayor. Said last night the Montgomery Police Department acted swiftly to detain several reckless individuals for attacking a man who was doing his job. Warrants are being signed and justice will be served. A shirtless man appeared to throw the first punch, running up and punching the dock worker in the face. The worker tosses off his hat as onlookers shout, and the two struggle before 2 more men jump in and punch the staffer. A woman can be heard yelling at others to help the employee. A man then runs down a ramp to the dock, and another jumps in the river and swims over to defend the worker. Several others walked down on the dock in support of the dock staffer, and the fight appears to end. However, another clip shows a group of people approaching the pontoon boat, and the opposing groups began throwing punches, pulling hair, and even tossing a woman into the water as bystanders then start shouting. And then there's a third video that shows even more people, both men and women, joining the fight. One man takes a folding chair, whacks a man, and then he whacks a woman with it, and part of the pontoon boaters over the head with it before officers grab him and cuff him. Officers also cuffed several of the pontoon boaters. The fight appeared to develop along racial lines, as the boaters were white, while the dock worker and the others fighting against the boaters were black. And the police department said, as our police department investigates these intolerable actions, we should not become desensitized to violence of any kind in our community. Those who choose violence will be held accountable by our criminal justice system.
I mean, you can easily jump to the one subject was black, the others were white,
Right.
and make that I don't know if they were like, he's black, how dare him talk to us.
Right.
I don't know if that's what happened. It definitely is possible,
Right.
but it's one of these cases of drinking and boating, and you
Exactly.
think the rules don't apply to you.
Yep.
There are no rules on the lake, bro. There's that video going around TikTok, like anything goes on the lake. Everybody who's driving is either drunk or 11, and people are just doing crazy, stupid stuff. It's the lake. Listen, I'm with you. There are rules, but it's seemingly there's no rules on the lake.
Let's just go with that's true. You weren't on the lake. You were docking.
Right.
Which means you were on someone's property.
Right. Now back to rules. No rules on the
Exactly.
water, but you got rules on land. You better follow.
And if you're gassed up and this riverboat, giant riverboat, needs to come in and dock, they're on a tight schedule.
Right.
So
who cares
move
about
your
a schedule? It's my
pontoon-
boat.
Yeah.
Right.
Move your pontoon
I don't
ass
have
out of the
some.
way.
I don't have some of my Triton.
Mhm.
Road rage leads to fight with spray paint. This happens down in Houston, where there's a dude. His name's Dave Winston. He's driving down the road on his phone, not paying no damn attention, kind of weaving in between lines. And so the people on the road call up the cops. And before the cops get there, Dave's at a stoplight, still on his phone, not paying any damn attention. So the light turns green. The guy behind him honks his horn. And Dave's like, what the hell, man? And they start yelling back and forth. They take off eventually. Well, while they're driving down the road, old Dave starts throwing stuff at the truck that's behind him that honks his horn at him, yelling and cursing, rabble, rabble, rabble. They get to the next stoplight. And when they get to the stoplight, that's when Dave gets out with a can of white spray paint. And he uses that to go spray paint the face of the driver behind him that he's fighting with, along with his truck, spray painted his car, and then use that same can of spray paint, break the back window. There you go. So then the guy that honked his horn at him, it's not sure. Nobody really knows what happened here, whether he had his own can of white spray paint or he used the same can of white spray paint. But he goes and takes a can of white spray paint and sprays Dave's face with it. So now you got these two people pissed off at each other, white face spray painting, right? Cops eventually come out. They determined that Dave was the asshole aggressor in this one, and they took him in for felony criminal mischief.
What?
Yeah.
The pictures are amazing.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
How
either.
do you get that close to somebody that can spray paint you?
Right. I guess he did.
That good.
Right. Didn't think he was going to do anything about it. People get mad. They get all up in your face. But if I see somebody coming at me with a can of spray paint, that's a weapon at that point.
Listen,
Yeah.
I could see it like you're going to get like part of my face or on the side or something. But they look like they've been antiqued.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I don't know like how the
Maybe had a wide nozzle on it, that kind of sprays
they
broadly.
have a pill for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, the heat's got everybody acting crazy.
Oh, I'm telling you.
That is those pictures are unbelievable, man. They are some of the more spectacular photos we've had in a while. Italian cheesemaker dies after being crushed by rounds of cheese. An Italian cheesemaker is dead. He got crushed by all the cheese on the wall. That takes a whole new effect of cheese off the cracker, right? The man was checking on his cheese in the warehouse. It's unclear how the first collapse that triggered the domino effect occurred. There were 10 corridors of shelves that stretched floor to ceiling with about 1,600 rounds of cheese per corridor. It took rescuers 11 hours to find the 74-year-old man's body underneath all the cheese. Each wheel weighs about 45 pounds
Damn.
of Grandpa Dono.
Wow.
Damn.
How about that, dough?
Crushed by cheese.
Not dough. Cheese.
How about he died doing what he loved?
Sure he did.
This is the way.
The cheesiest way to die
It
ever.
does. It is a stinky way to die. Yes.
I'm telling you.
That cheese ain't cheap either.
Right?
No.
It's like $1,000 a wheel.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we got crushed by what? A couple $100,000?
I mean, they 1,600 rounds of cheese.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is that cheese ruined? Can you sell that cheese after it kills someone?
Not the ones on the very bottom of the pile.
Yeah,
I
but the ones on
imagine.
the top,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. Like, let's just say there's like a layer of cheese on top of the dude.
Mhm.
Anything after that first layer, I think, is good to resell.
So, but does it add a value to it? Like this cheese here, this cheese fell on a man, the cheesemaker, and killed him.
Right.
Oh, I can taste the sadness.
Yeah.
Right.
I can taste like the life transferred to the cheese from him to the cheese.
Just cheese smells like death.
Have you ever been into like a cheese house?
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm.
You would remember.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, a house made completely of cheese. I would.
Well, no, not like it's not like the butter exhibit at the fair.
Right.
No, like a fromage, like a place where they sell, like that's all they sell.
Worst smelling house ever.
They have sliding glass doors for each of the rooms of cheese because it's so pungent.
Oh
Mhm.
man. And you know how sometimes you work at places and you take that smell home with you? You know, like if you work at the dump or
Yeah.
you know, as trash man,
Yeah.
you smell like garbage, you know. Imagine coming home and smelling like stinky foot cheese every day.
So I'm listening to this podcast and they're talking about your senses or whatever. And anyway, that you don't know what your house smells like, right? Is what
Right.
they talk. You have no idea.
Mhm.
And that to you, it smells good or nice or whatever, comfortable. But to a stranger, they may come in and go, oh God, their house stinks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does that hold true with somebody who works in a cheese place? Like they're like, this smells great. Hey, it smells a little off in here. No, it always smells off in here
Yeah.
because you have moldy milk.
I would think that like everywhere you go, everything smells like cheese. It's just permeated in your sinuses.
It's just burned in.
Yeah. So everywhere you go smells like cheese because like I don't know anything smells like. It just smells like Parmesan to me or whatever. Ugh,
Some cheeses, I actually like super stinky cheeses.
right?
Yeah. The taste.
And the smell.
And the smell?
Yeah, I love
Mm.
it. I think it's amazing. It's amazing that we're eating it. It's amazing someone went, let's put this in my mouth.
Right.
It's amazing. Like it's amazing. Just the historical factors around the process
Mhm.
and to have super stinky cheese. And then there's cheese not stinky at all that also tastes great.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So the smell plays no part in it.
Yeah.
I think cheese is amazing.
So.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. There's a story circulating on social media about an OnlyFans, quote, star, end quote, who's been banned from Home Depot. And the cops apparently went to her house because of a video she shot inside a Home Depot. The person's name is Layla Kelly, and the police came to her house. She's 33 years old. She says she was told by the police that they were there to have a very serious talk. I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have a serious talk with me.
Like so far as the police aren't
I
having
don't
a
think the
serious-
police can come to your house and have a serious talk with you.
Why can't they?
I mean, you can come to my house, but I don't have to come out and I don't have to answer the door.
Right. They got to have a warrant to pick you up.
Yeah. You're here to either you're here to arrest me
Mm-hmm.
or you're here to ask a question. But to have a very serious talk,
Yeah.
your job is to enforce the laws,
Mm-hmm.
not to Father me.
Right. Well, we're going to let you, it's one of those, we're going to let you off with a warning. You're not supposed to be fornicating inside the Home Depot.
Period.
Right.
That's the end of that conversation. That's not a serious talk.
Well, that's pretty serious.
She describes this as a bizarre twist after what she had been doing. She thought she was going to get arrested, and she thought that she got off. She was a weight lifted off of her shoulders. She says they were there to talk about one of her videos that had gone viral on social media. The two cops came to her house to talk to her about a playful video she filmed inside a hardware store, Home Depot, earlier. She explained she uses social media to hook new views and advertise her profile on the subscription-based OnlyFans, which, by the way, I didn't know this. There's also an OnlyFans TV, but it's not porn.
Right.
Whitney Cummings has a TV show on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's content. It doesn't always have to be porn. It's whatever you want it to be on there. It's just,
No. There's OnlyFans where there's porn, but then there's a whole other website called OFTV that has TV shows.
Okay. That's weird.
Anyway, in one of the clips, she and a friend filmed themselves jokingly taking their underwear off and leaving it in parts of the hardware for, quote, a surprise for dads and the, quote, hard working trades construction workers. Obviously, it went super viral, 15 million views. And she explained that this was simply meant to be a funny joke. And she assured that she did not leave any of her underwear inside the store. She recently won New Zealand's best porn star in 2023. She was double layered, she says. So she was wearing underwear when she did this. She says it's just a prop for the video. You can't believe everything you see online. Says we filmed a bunch of different videos there. No staff told us anything except that when we took off our shoes at one point, they said we need to put them back on, which we respected. Hold on. A dog can walk around inside a Home Depot, but I got to have my shoes on.
Right.
Yeah, you're not a savage.
That feels a little out of place.
You're not an animal, are you?
And saying that she was banned from Home Depot, that's not really a thing either.
Right.
Now, if she got in trouble and she'd been trespassed and it was cited in her record, then okay.
Right.
But there's no black book.
This is going in your permanent record. That's held in Washington, D.C. in a giant filing cabinet.
Yes. There's no BOLO.
Right.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout.
Yeah, her
right?
picture on the door.
Yes.
Don't let her enter.
You know how busy these people are? You think some minimum wage person's going to be like, there she is. Now, I will tell you, there is situations where maybe something like this arises. Apparently, the guy who owns Madison Square Garden is this rich uppity who doesn't like any criticism of him, and he's invested in visual face recognition technology, and anybody that comes in that he doesn't like or has talked ill about him, he has them escorted away and off the property.
Wow. But it's his property. He can do that.
Well, the reason I even know about this is that he is being sued because he has a liquor license, and liquor license, you can't stop people. You can't pick and choose who gets liquor, apparently in the state of New York.
Very
and so he's in violation of the state constitution or something like that. So it's because he's got lawyers he doesn't like. So if you were on a lawyer who sued him, he puts your name in there and like you can't come in. So if you want to go see Jay-Z or Beyonce or a game or Knicks game or whatever, then you can't get in. Yeah.
That's funny.
So that's a whole other thing. But the idea of like she's banned from Home Depots.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think I guess if you took a deuce in the lumber aisle,
like one of their display crappers.
Yeah, that would probably get you again, but I don't think you'd be banned.
Right.
They would have, you know how many locations there are?
Right, exactly. I've had friends get caught shoplifting at the Walmart, and you're banned from all Walmarts. Well, not necessarily, because you just go to the one down the road or whatever, and it's all good. And even then, sure, you may not go back to that same Walmart the next day, but A couple weeks later, they forget who you are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody texted in and said, I stepped in dog ass with my Hey Dudes last weekend in Lowe's. That feels on brand for Hey Dudes. Yeah, I don't even get me started on dogs coming into Home Depot.
I don't think animals should be in any store at all whatsoever.
No.
You know, these women that bring their little rat dog in with them, you know, to the Target or whatever, because they don't want to be mother fella. Whoa. I know. This took me back to just a couple weeks ago. I was at the Walmart. I might have shared this on the air. I don't think I have, though. I go walk into the Walmart. I just want to go get some cheap wine. Maybe.
Is this the one where you saw Lindsay but didn't acknowledge her?
No, this is a different, same Walmart, different instance. And I get my cart and I go and I look up and there's a woman walking out with a full-grown goddamn iguana hanging on her.
What?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think that's, you know, a service iguana. You know, it's not helping you make your way through the aisles, you know, emotional support pet. Maybe.
She's the main character, dude.
But come on, man. Come on. For real. I don't like the dogs, but I can let you slide. All right, whatever. But a damn iguana? That seems a little. What's next? Somebody bringing in their pet ostrich? Yeah, come on.
That equals to when I see people running with a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're dumb.
Right.
You're asking to be pulled onto your face.
Yeah.
Oh, they have the dog where it's tied around their waist.
Yeah.
And they're running. Bitch, the moment that dog sees a squirrel, it's over.
You're done.
Oh, no, my dog's well trained.
Are you totally right?
Mm-hmm.
Until they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because they're what? Animals.
Yeah, that's right. The idea of when you see like a petite person, whether it's a man or a woman, and they've got, you know, a Great Dane.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's there for protection. Yeah.
And they're running with it. I'm like, if that dog wanted to leave you, it would.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they're probably only running because the dog is running. They have no choice.
Right? I see people do it with bicycles too. And I'm like, you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
To me, when it's tied to you, tethered to you is the part where I think is super insane.
Yes. You should be able to let go at any point in time. And that goes for a lot of things in life.
Is it Tuesday?
Yeah.
But yes, animals inside stores. You might be able to talk me into Home Depot and Lowe's. You might.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely not Walmart, Target,
places where
Costco.
Yeah.
Let anyone leave them in the car.
Absolutely. That dog will be fine.
As we learned this week, they're my fur babies. Would you have sex? You leave them there to watch you have sex?
Right.
Nope.
No, you don't. You kick them out because they're dogs.
I don't know. I think you might be surprised at how many people would allow their dogs to just stay in the room, probably up on the bed with them. Not like doing it with them, but just like at the foot of the bed.
Dude, all right.
Yeah.
Kate Upton.
Okay.
You finally get your moment.
Yes.
You go to her house.
Uh-huh.
And she has a Labrador Retriever. Nope. What are those? All the rich people have those super expensive dogs.
Oh, the Frenchies?
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 Frenchies on the bed.
This is Kate Upton we're talking about, though, right? And this might be the only time. You know, if it's the only time that I'll ever get to bang her, and that's the only way that I'll get to bang her, sure.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Power through it, because that's a pretty funny story.
Absolutely. But if, like, this is a regular sort of thing, you know, me and
Sandy
Kate
at the bar.
Sandy at the bar. You get this bitches out of the bed. Get them bitches out of this bed. I don't need your dog. Well, I'm trying to.
Listen, I think you maybe have some if you're with Kate Upton and she's got all these dogs and you like kick them out of the bed.
Right.
Ain't nobody talk to her that way. She may like it.
Right, exactly. She can have a pet alligator in the bed. I don't mind. It's Kate Upton. I'll take my chances of get my balls bitten off from a crocodile, but you know,
that bingo card is
I know it.
a mess today.
It is.
All right, got to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show is coming right back. The Big Mad Morning Show.
Not a Sharps container, but a container that cannot be punctured like a thing of laundry soap. Mm-hmm. You can just write Sharps and then throw it in the trash.
Huh? How about that?
Someone texted in, I work for waste management. It does happen often. Homeless and crackheads sleep in the cans that I pick up, and it is cray. Yeah. So anyway, One man's trash isn't always another man's
I mean,
treasure.
overwhelmingly, you gave us garbage. Thought we'd do a little fill in the blank news. I'll read part of a headline, leave part of it out. If you can guess the blank part correctly, good on you. First one, Mattel introduces blank Barbie doll. Mattel introduces blank Barbie doll.
That's fun because they got so many different ones now. They've got prosthetic Barbie. They've got slightly overweight Barbie.
Pregnant Barbie.
Pregnant Barbie. I'm trying to think of the other Barbies that I've seen at the store. They got a handy-capable Barbie in a wheelchair.
Think it's a transgender Barbie?
It wouldn't surprise me. We'll go with trannies.
If you've seen the movie, you know Kate McKinnon is a breakout character in the movie. Weird Barbie from the hit movie Barbie is getting its own doll. The doll, inspired by Kate McKinnon's character, and is complete with a pink baby doll dress, short, spiky blonde hair, and pink and blue highlights, squiggly forehead line, and a circle around her eye. Announcing the doll on Instagram, Mattel wrote, "Barbie knows what it's like to play just a little too much." The Barbie movie has earned more than $1 billion at the global box office, making it the first film solely directed by a woman to ever cross that mark. Funeral Home is offering blank-themed coffins. Funeral Home is offering blank-themed coffins.
I saw this and I thought, okay, come on now.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So
In
a number of things. Marvel Barbie themed.
You nailed it. Nail in the coffin.
Ruins the entire time limit that we have.
What would you want your coffin to look like?
Not Barbie.
Well, neither would I, but that's what people are supposedly paying for.
But you're not Barbie fans.
I am.
Right.
I love Barbie.
Sure. Do you have anything Barbie themed in your home?
No.
Okay, then
absolutely not.
But that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Is that it would have to be something you're a diehard for.
Right.
Yeah.
Mine be like cannabis themed or something like that. PlayStation.
Barbie Mania continues to sweep the world. One funeral home in El Salvador has boarded the Barbie bandwagon in a big way. The Alpha and Omega Funeral Home in Achapan is offering a pink Barbie-themed coffin for people who want to take their obsession with pop culture sensation to the afterlife. Each of the metal caskets is decorated with stars and features lining imprinted with pictures of Barbie. One of the spokespeople says, we have to jump on this trend, adding he's already sold 10 of the coffins. It's been a success. The coffin is the latest bizarre Barbie merchandise to be released in Latin America, which has also seen products such as Barbie lunchboxes, pink tacos and pastries, and even Barbie-themed airplanes. New Jersey, only state where drivers can't blank. New Jersey, only state where drivers can't blank.
Drive. Right. That's every state. Can't honk their horn. Okay. Yeah, noise ordinance. Can't get out of your car with a can of spray paint the person behind you.
Can't pass other drivers. Can't use the express lane.
Okay. All those sound like good ideas.
New Jersey is the only state in the U.S. where drivers can't pump their own gas.
Huh.
It comes as lawmakers in Oregon voted to end the ban on self-serve gas, and Governor Tina Kotek signed off on it, ending the state's 72-year ban. Gas stations across New Jersey have pushed for lawmakers to lift the ban, which has been in effect since 1949. They say self-serve gas would allow them to lower the price.
Absolutely, yeah. I wonder why that's crazy. That's crazy. I thought, those days of somebody else having gas station attendants were pretty well over.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one in forever.
There's one here in town.
Is there?
Yeah, Reed's over.
Reader's over there off of 15. Okay. But it costs you extra. And
of course it does.
I don't like it. Yeah.
Blank are coming to Jeopardy. Blank are coming to Jeopardy.
Nerds.
In there.
Right. Average people. There you go. The bottom of the class is coming to Jeopardy.
Right. Reruns.
Oh, I could see that, like on a game show network or something, playing the old episodes of the Jeopardy,
Oh, yeah.
like the 80s and stuff like that. So we still get our taste of Alex Trebek and that wonderful stash.
And the fro, man.
Oh yeah.
When the new season of Jeopardy premieres, there'll be some changes as the writer strike continues. During an interview on the Inside Jeopardy podcast, that's a thing. Executive producer Michael Davies revealed that the show will use a combination of material from our WGA writers wrote before the strike, which is still in the database, and redeployed material from multiple seasons of the show. The new season will also have a second chance tournament showcasing players from the 2020-2021 season. Look for new episodes of Jeopardy to premiere in September.
Okay.
This strike is causing a lot of problems. I didn't know the writers wrote the stuff for game shows.
I didn't either, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Somebody's got to write it.
Yeah. So what are they going to do? That's why CBS is going to have Survivor.
I learned Bob Barker says, get your pussy fixed. I also learned sweaty meats make Corbin a happy man.
I learned that there really is probably only one thing that should be on my things to do in your high list, and that is try to get out of this couch.
Right.
And I also learned that it doesn't matter how Gimpy stacks the drums. The thing is that he can play the drums. Quit sending the questions of how does he play the drums.
You don't want to know where I hold that stick.
Stick. No, it isn't. It's Corbin saying make sure that dishwasher is loaded right.
It's Lindsay. Stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy, and I'm sorry.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Yeah. Ready? Let's go. Can I get an encore?
Italian pasta.
Let's see. Americans aren't eating enough tapioca
Okra.
pudding.